Hey Peter, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm just getting myself lined in here. How are things in Argentina? I had no idea you guys were ahead of New York in time. It made me go look at a map to find out how is it that Argentina is, and it is. It's a long ways east. I had just I somehow imagined all these years South America being directly under North America. It isn't. It's off to the
I
side.
know, I was under the same predicament. I never realized it either until we started hanging out with some people in Argentina. And yeah, it's different. And now that the time changed, it's 2 hours ahead. It was normally only an hour ahead. I'm glad I checked.
I see. So Argentina isn't doing or doesn't. Oh, I see. They don't practice daylight savings time during the summer. Is that right?
I
Oh,
think so.
I guess now that I think about it, you guys are entering summer now in Argentina, aren't you?
Exactly, dude. It's 78, 79 degrees here.
Wow. Are you there for business or just because the weather's nice?
I am just there for pleasure,
That's
taking a
great.
break from work. It's so amazing here. I love it. Everything's super cheap. It's ridiculously cheap.
I
I
saw I've been following the news. I guess there's been a big election and there's a lot of unhappiness. I gather there. So it sounds like it's a good time to come in with hard currency like the dollar. Did you actually bring cash, American dollars with you?
I did. I brought a shitload of cash. 800. It's way more than I'll spend. But
Yeah. Well, I was reading in the New York Times about how many people in Argentina uh, hold their savings in cash in in the mattress. It's evidently a significant fraction of American hard currency in the form of cash is in Argentina and not in America.
oh,
And
absolutely. And there's good reason for it. The prices fluctuate so much.
yeah, yeah,
So they constantly have to change the prices on the menus and everything.
right.
But
So when
shit
you're
is
paying, you're handing people dollar bills and people are
no
gladly
way. I
accepting them,
go to this very shady booth. They're like offices called Cambio, which is the
right?
Spanish for
Yeah,
exchange. So I go to these Cambio centers, which is kind of, I think, owned by like a kind of mafia. It's totally illegal. And you
right.
walk,
I heard it was a gray market that people there's a evidently an exchange rate against the dollar which is unofficial but everybody uses, and it's
yeah,
illegal to change dollars for that amount.
that's why you can't use your credit card down here because if you did, you'll get the government exchange rate, which is 1/3 of what
Right.
the black
Got it.
market, they call it blue dollar. But
Right.
so what you have to do is you have to take your cash, you have to go to this sketchy place
Right.
and walk into these, they're like closed off booths, and they got
Sure.
money counting machines there. And
Right.
give them your money and they tell you the rate, but you can look it up on
Sure.
bluedollar.net and it's usually exactly the same. But right now, so the government's at 350 and the blue dollar exchange rate is 990.
Wow.
So, and
Wow.
what you do is you give
Wow.
them your money and they count the Argentinian money, but you get the money, dude. It's like I call myself Bandito Yankee because you're walking around with a bank robber level full of money. It's
Right.
like imagine thick wad of bills with the tape around them. That's how much
Wow.
money you get. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
it's
That's
so
amazing. I've seen the photographs. They illustrate these stories with photographs of Buenos Aires, and the architecture is so beautiful. It's all this late 19th century Belle Epoque buildings. There's some of those left in New York and Paris, but this is like it's preserved in amber because they had such a big boom then. And then they haven't had a lot of good times in the late 20th century. So they have been replaced with these shiny skyscrapers that we build nowadays.
no, yeah, it's all beautiful architecture. It's a massive city. It's like a clean version of New York. You can really do
So
anything
you,
here. There's fine dining, there's culture. It's
right. So
like
despite all of the economic hard times, you don't feel like crime is an issue like it is in
crime
other
is an
places in South
issue.
America. Uh-huh.
Crime is definitely an issue, but I'm a man and a former
Sure.
paratrooper. I'm not afraid. People, they will get an unlucky roll of the dice if they try to rob me, let me tell you. So I never
Well,
worry about, I'm careful. The
right.
only time I was really worried was when I was carrying a huge, you know, two thick bricks of money back with me from when I went to do the cambio. Oh, I thought I pasted the Zoom into the
You
chat.
did. I'll paste it again. It's fine.
Perfect.
People miss stuff. I'm sure he'll be joining us just a minute. I was really sad that Tim dropped out. He didn't just drop out of coming today. He dropped out of the text conversation, and I read that detail and I realized if I wanted to say goodbye to him, I had to go over to create a new thread just with him and say, "Hey Tim, I'm sorry you're going." I mean, I think he feels guilty. And it's tough when you got family. You're
Or
absolutely
his
right that it's
family put a lot of pressure on him. His wife
yeah.
said he could have said to her, "Hey, I'm gonna do this game," and she went off on him. And so I don't think his reaction was towards us. It was just towards
Oh
life
no, yeah,
situation.
yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize his wife had been tough about it. I could tell that he was feeling pressure from the family. I had a very similar situation. I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, where I joined a burning wheel group, and then I was in, and I was like, and I was going to my second, and I realized I did not have time in my life when I had kids in the house, and it was going to be weekly. And this, of course, was well before Zoom, so I was actually going to be leaving the house on a weeknight. It could not be done, so I had to drop out.
Yeah, those things happen. So, you know, I didn't take it personally. I'm sure
No,
hopefully he'll be back. He seemed like he
yeah,
was gonna be a really good player.
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I think the main question I have in my head, and I'm curious to see how you're going to rule on this, is whether we're going to need to, when we want a Tessa's help on something, or we want information from her or whatever, whether we're going to be able to treat her like a PC in the sense that we don't need to circles her up,
I think so.
as an NPC in the sense that we do need to circles her up. I'm totally fine with whatever you feel is more fun for the given scenario.
I think it's
Um,
more fun that, you know, she was coming in as a player to begin with. So I'm gonna say
right.
it's a shared relation that everybody has and nobody needs to circle her up. You'll be doing enough circling in this game.
Trust me, yeah, we will.
Hey,
And
Sandy, how are
she'd be
you?
a hard one to circles because
And
she's
Yeah, how
not
are you?
she's from such a different class. I think we would be hard pressed to circles her without being able to just do it. So we were just talking about the question of whether we'll need to circles up Atessa as an NPC, or if she's just somebody we know now. And it sounds like
Yeah,
Peter's leaning toward she's just somebody you know, which is
yeah,
a,
yeah,
a
yeah.
giant help.
We have her character sheet and her beliefs.
That's right. We know her. We can. Uh,
Yeah, I gotta say, I think it's very hard to find a good time. Like,
yeah,
it's beautiful and sunny in Toronto on a Sunday.
yeah.
You've got like kids that aren't too old that they don't give a shit about you. Um, then you might want like but luckily my family, like, we get started slow. So like I was happy with this time because from like 10 to 1, they're just like watching TV or on their iPads and like moseying around really slowly anyways. And usually I'm like idle.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm just recovering from late last night drinking.
Amazing. Do you have friends or do you know anybody in
I
Argentina?
do. You know, I
Amazing.
spent like, even though I'm in IT, I had a side business in the music business, and I took bands on tour. So we had bands
Nice.
coming to our tour from all over the world, and one of them
Mhm.
was from Argentina.
Nice.
They kept raving about Argentina, and I finally took them up on it and visited last year, and I just loved it. So I knew I was going to come back again when it's cold. Here it's summer now, so it's 79 degrees.
Oh, amazing.
Dude, and it's everything is insanely cheap.
Yeah.
So I went drinking last night, right? How much do
Yeah.
you guys think I spent on drinks? You're gonna laugh.
I don't know. Like
Total for the entire night, and I had quite a few drinks. I spent $8.
eight
Oh my
bucks.
$8.
God.
$8.
Wow.
Beers here
What?
are less than $2. So you can get a
Is
beer
that
for about $1.75.
is it because of the
Mm.
the currency is just tanked or something like that?
There's been articles about this recently. Their currency is in kind of an, it's not quite free fall, but it's, and evidently the dollar is the thing that everyone there relies on. So Peter came with a whole bunch of cash and traded it in at the cambio, and he trades it in. He doesn't want to trade it at the beginning. He trades it in bit by bit so that he can get money. Because if you trade it at the beginning, by the end of the trip, it wouldn't be worth as much. So it's fast.
Yeah,
Wow.
I do it at $200 at a time, and $200 will last me many days. And I'm eating, going out, eating all the time. I went grocery shopping. I bought some bananas, oranges, coffee, water, milk, one or two other things. My grocery bill came to $8.
Damn,
That's
like $8 kid over there.
Oh my
Exactly.
God.
I
Ugh.
went out
That
for a meal. I had lasagna at a nice restaurant and a beer. My bill was $8.
Jesus.
It's so cheap.
wow, you could just live there, man. Wow.
Oh yeah, you can. It's everything's so cheap. Now the condo, to buy a condo is not cheap. So you're gonna
Yeah.
spend north of 200 grand at least to get a condo. But who cares, if you ever were to decide to like live down here as an American, you could live here like
Oh my God. There's nothing in Toronto for $200,000. Like no condo. There's nothing. Like you're living in a big metropolitan capital city, Buenos Aires, with all the beer, drinks, red wine, steak, everything. A condo in a similar big capital like in Toronto, it's close to $1 million. It's like six, seven, $800,000 for a condo for a one bedroom. So
Oh, I know
wow.
it's nuts. Yeah. It's so great. So don't my only problem is I do speak Spanish, but I'm not great at it. So when
Right.
people come up to me and they speak Spanish really fast, I have no fucking idea what they're saying.
But at least he got some, which is more than a lot of, Americans, more than most Americans.
Yeah, I can
Well,
normally speak to someone in Spanish because I can sit there and translate what I need to say in my brain. But when
right.
it comes at you like a machine gun, I'm done, I can't. And I'm half deaf anyway, so trying to listen to it is tough. I just have to use Google Translate.
Okay, just opening up everything here.
So
yeah. So
yeah,
we worked on our. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Talk.
I was just gonna say I'm ready to rock and roll. This should be good, but yeah, let's go over our beliefs.
That's good. So
Mhm.
I can start. So we worked on our beliefs last time, Peter, and I think we sharpened all of them. I think we're in pretty good shape. So Frida says, "I am the match of any man, and I'll prove it to the Thieves Guild, just as I did while serving the militia of the Lord Mayor of Cleggnar. I carry the blood of Stormer Wolfkin in my veins. By toppling the towers of the mighty, I will earn the appellation Stormbringer. And though I'm far from the prettiest woman in our group, I will turn the head of the princeling when we rob or kidnap him.
Perfect.
Love
I
that.
love it.
My instincts are never trust a grinning man. and draw my sword at the first sign of danger. I'm not quite happy with either of those, and I don't have a third, but I'm figuring it out. So
Sounds like those could get you in trouble.
that's the goal. That is the goal.
Mhm. Eric, you want to do yours?
Sure, yeah, hold on one sec. I'm just typing something.
No worries.
Sanj, you want to just go ahead?
Yeah, yeah. I'll
Yeah,
go
Sanj, go ahead.
So I have um, the gift of sight is part of my Naga heritage, but I need to learn more. The princeling's nursemaid is rumored to be a northern witch woman. I must extract knowledge from her about my gifts.
Nice.
My freedom from the harem of Raja Jadugar was hard fought. I will never be controlled by another man. The Thieves Guild of Lankhmar are part of the same machine. We must use this heist to bring them down a peg. I will glean some secrets from Slayer. That's
Love
the
it.
relationship there. Um, Atessa is a true friend. She has had my back numerous times, but she is too quick to draw her sword, especially around the nobility. I will teach her to use her considerable wits. Just like a relationship kind of thing. My instincts are make a noticeable tick when dealing with slave owners or pimps. Always stand and drool in the presence of magic. Always coat my knife in Blackadder venom. And in terms of like relevant traits and stuff like that, well, I have Drop Dead Gorgeous, Off Kilter, Paranoid, Numb, and Second Sight. And then the relation like cultural traits are brown skin, sinuous, and green eyed.
Now, because you do have a trait that says you or instinct that you always want to cover your blade in Blackadder venom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a very nice GM, and I'm gonna give you a small portion of that. But in the future, you're gonna have to refill it. So
Yeah.
let's say that you have four
Oh.
uses of it.
What? 3?
Four. I'll give you
Four.
four uses of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think yeah, my view was that I would roll the D to see if I stab somebody. So it's pretty tough though. I was discussing the rules and stuff, and a lot of the monsters receive the poison gets injected on a mark hit, not on an incidental. So I need to get a mark, okay?
Yeah.
Which is tough to get with a B2 knife skill.
But I think it'd be good
That-
adventure
that was the-
watching you try to refill your poison.
Yeah.
We were learning just how hard it is to get a mark for Vina to score a mark hit during our little scuffle practice battle, and yeah, it wasn't easy. We
You
couldn't even
didn't
get you to incidental.
You didn't even like you had if you had chainmail, I guess, or
No,
what's your
I just have leather armor. But
yeah.
it's
So even there, like you would roll if I stabbed you in the chest, let's say, then you would get to roll your armor dice on top of it, which you never did because I was moving it to unarmed your exposed arms.
right, because early on you scored a hit on my arm, and then that damaged the armor over there because I rolled 2 1s on my armor dice. So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And last
Okay,
but not
Eric.
least, we have Eric.
All right. So, my belief one is still the simple one. Good deeds come from bad. Good things come from bad deeds. Good things can come from bad deeds. That's more like it. Not yeah.
Now, how do you want to be? How do you want to make that active? Like, what's going to be your goal this session to show that you've achieved that belief?
But Peter, we were talking about that one just as also there's like a little note in the Burning Wheel where you can have like just an idealistic belief like that and just get fate points,
Right.
like
Fate
like
farm.
just a fate farm kind of belief. This is his ideal. So if you hadn't kind of come up with a good point on that, then like a persona
Okay.
machine, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But the general idea is that like If there's something that I believe in that we're doing that I think is for a good purpose, I guess, I guess I have a little bit of idealism, but more often than not, I'm gonna take the sneaky, sly,
Right.
possibly like harmful and violent track instead of just doing things on the up and up.
Fair enough.
I think it's more of um like a tendency, like a not like a game mechanic instinct, but it's kind of like her instinct to take the rat route,
Gotcha.
An ethos of violence.
yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, because like she grew up out of that. It's kind of like all she knows, and she's good at stuff like that. So just why, if it ain't broke. So yeah, so
Perfect.
then number two, the rich and powerful think they can take what they want from whomever they want. They think they are safe, but I will show them that no one is safe. The pretty princeling is mine for the taking. All will fear for his life.
Okay.
I can trim that down if it needs to, but I took you guys' lead and just kind of went crazy. And then belief number three, a man's greatest weakness is his belief in his strength. I wait patiently, studying, watching for the thread I can pull to unravel this hubris, to make him fall and to look like a fool.
Nice.
And then instincts, never get cornered. And I was thinking maybe something like in the like the example in the Burning Wheel book. If I do get cornered, I can go into aggressive stance. The example in the book is has something to do with instantly going into aggressive when something happens, and maybe that could be something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Instinct number two, I always watch my back. The only tail I should have is my own.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. And then the third one, I'm not totally sure on. I will always defend a rat in trouble. I don't know if that's totally like resonating with me yet, but I'll keep it there. But yeah, I think it could be a little juicier.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cool.
yeah, that's
Awesome.
what I got. I
So
feel a lot
let-
better about my beliefs and instincts than I did earlier. So
Nice. So let's jump
We,
into it. We left off, or where do you guys want to start?
a little recap. We have well, there was the main info that we got is that the ship is going to be coming in on the south, somewhere in the south docks, but the fancy end of the south docks. This was information given to us by Nico's pretty much like you're bribing, you're blackmailing this dude, right?
blackmailing,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's thieving from the Thieves Guild, or taking a cut for himself, and you know that.
His name is he's a dock worker named Jovan Musk.
Yeah, Jovan Musk, right? Yeah, Jovan Musk.
I think
And
you found a time too, right?
what's that?
the time was, yeah, what time did we get? What time it's coming in?
I think
Also,
you did, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I think you found out that it was going to be late at night when they were arriving.
yes,
Right.
yeah,
And we know that the dock is the Sapphire Wharf at the far south of the city. And you were saying that it's not the you had it exactly right in terms of the location, Sanj.
yeah. And then so I was wondering, do we like after we got into that little fight, right? You scared off that Thieves Guild guy.
Right.
I mean, it was a versus, and it was a little bit bloody, obviously. But he ran off.
He ran off, right. And he was the
yeah.
guy who was keeping an eye on the ship for the Thieves Guild. And Frida was trying to, this was the consequence of failure. Frida had gone down there and had a sort of story cooked up about why she was there. that she was there to, greet relatives who were coming off the boat. And her lies were seen through by the Thieves Guild, and this guy picked a fight with her, and she drove him off.
12:24 p.m.
So
What,
we have
that-
some. It must be you because it's not. It's 10:24 here.
Stupid watch.
Um,
So I think at this point, I mean, you can tell me, Peter, we've driven off that Thieves Guild guy. I think she's now dealt with that consequence of failure, and she is trying to sort of front as expectant, waiting for a passenger on the boat, and
You
keeping
guys
an eye
want to
on.
pick a spot to kind of view the docks from?
Yeah, it's a place that's fairly unobtrusive, or actually, some of you guys actually are good at inconspicuous. Frida is not good at inconspicuous, so she's making no attempt at inconspicuous. She's just gonna expectantly watch, but she's keeping an eye out to try to get a sense of who else is there, who might be waiting for the boat, and what might they be there for.
You probably would have even a disadvantage at inconspicuous because you've got statuesque, right?
She doesn't have statuesque, but what she does have, she has a couple of things that stand against her, and she has the mark of affinity, and the mark of affinity is a disadvantage die for inconspicuous, I think. And she also has bright red hair, and she's big. So
And
yeah,
I think
probably actually I
Sandra's
should have written that
character
down.
might have trouble too because she has
Right,
the
drop
gorgeous
dead
or
gorgeous.
something.
Right, yeah.
but I have an inconspicuous and disguise. So yeah, I am going to blend into the scenery. In fact, I think I want to actually hide in the shadows, and I have also through second sight, I can use aura reading for observation.
Oh,
Or
nice.
second sight allows me to roll perception for observation.
So
You know?
do you want to be the lead on getting I imagine you're taking the whole group down to the docks, right?
What's your inconspicuous, Sanj?
My incon is a B2.
I got B4.
So
Oh,
Peter, I think we're already at the docks, but I think what she's doing is trying to flow away into the crowd, while I'm just in the middle of just fighting this guy. She's just trying to be inconspicuous. And are you trying to dissolve into the crowd? Is that your intent? Because I think we're physically at the docks already.
actually don't think that it at the middle of the night, it's not very inconspicuous to be out on the docks at this time of the night, you know?
Yeah, there
Oh.
won't be a crowd late at night.
Okay, there's no crowd. Got it.
Yeah, for me, I think stealthy is better of the two.
Got it. Okay.
And
So I should be imagining a pretty abandoned. I was imagining a crowded dock. This is not a crowded dock.
it's like
It
2
won't
o'clock
be
in the
by the
morning,
time
I'd say.
middle of night rolls around, that's for sure.
Got it. Okay, got it. So we may be the only people waiting for this, or maybe there's going to be a couple of dock workers who will come up just as the boat's coming up. But physically, I am standing alone on the dock. I'm just trying to get a picture of what I'm seeing around me. This is a dark, fairly abandoned dock. Occasionally, somebody will walk past. Maybe there's a streetwalker, but for the most part, Frida is standing up against the wall of a warehouse, quite prominently waiting for this boat. Is that right? Alone.
My companions, this is not very wise of us to be standing on this wharf like this in plain sight. The Thieves Guild know that know of us right now. We have to hide.
I think
Oh.
as Vina is saying this, she probably looks around and I'm not even there. I'm like already like skulking, towards
Yeah.
the shadows,
You go hide. I can stand off the Thieves Guild by myself.
Step up to you. I'm like, don't you fuck up this mission, you hot-headed icicles for brains northerner.
All right. That's great. Is that an intimidate check? I could just decide to knuckle under if you can find me a hiding place.
Yeah. So
All right. I'm going
I
to say
kind
that
I
Frida,
like,
Frida wants you to like her and wants you to continue to employ her. This is the first time you've employed her, and she's been brought in for hire, and you just made it clear that you're unhappy with her job performance, and she's like, okay, you figure out what hide me, I will hide.
okay, come.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
So generally that stuff you just role play it, but you are almost ready to make a test for that, right? Like or ask, is that common for like between players
It
It
can
can be, there's
It
something
can
called
be.
duel of wits. And so if you've got two players who want to do different things, you will basically there's a mechanic for, I don't want to call it a fight, but in duel of
Oh yeah, no, I get that, but I guess just to bring the rules into it, instead of just like, okay, well, we'll just figure it out in the fiction, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's make it official.
Is that an intimidate? He said, right? Like,
Yeah.
Right,
so,
right. And the
but
fact is, it
Frida,
is a way of
Because I mean, so obviously there's two reasons to do that. One is to leave it up to chance, it's fun for the player to kind of be like, oh, okay, well, I failed that, or I succeeded. Now I'm going to go this route that you might not have chosen.
yes.
But it's also, you're getting some test, you're getting like a test in, right?
and that's the reason that a canny, if the GM feels like her players are milking it in order to generate tests for themselves, a canny GM might add something into the consequences of failure, like, okay, you guys have made a lot of noise with this argument, and now you've attracted attention, which is exactly what you were trying to avoid. So yeah, I think Peter will not let us get away with that too much if he feels like
And
we're
it's,
abusing it.
it's up to you guys. Like, if you want to do a duel of wits, if it makes sense, I would let the party do it. Otherwise, sometimes you're just role playing it out and just want to move on. That's fine too.
Right, and this
Could
felt like it
you
was
just do
not
it
a
with
big
a
enough
simple
deal.
versus test though too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It doesn't always
Yeah.
have to be a duel of wits. Yeah.
Yeah,
It can
duel of
just
wits
be
is really for
amusing.
a major question. And just like a fight, we want to reserve the fight for a major fight. So, because it's similarly complicated. Okay.
So I step, like, so I give you that little speech, and you're like, okay, come, all right, sorry, but whatever. And then so we look around. I look for a hiding spot. I'm sure it's not that crazy. Do I have to roll for it, or?
Well, let's look around and what do we see around here where we might hide?
Yeah.
There
Maybe we can do.
are lots of buildings. So the actual docks are very exposed. It would be very hard to
Right.
hide on the actual docks. But
Yeah.
to step back from the docks, there are lots and lots of warehouses and buildings.
Awnings, shadows, crates,
But I
barrels.
want you guys to, I think first, this may be, well, tell me your intent and task.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for a shadowy alcove or behind some boxes or crates to just crouch under for me and Frida. I'm assuming Eric is already Nico's got that covered. So I look around very quickly, and I spot something, and I crouch down behind it with a view towards the dock.
Okay.
And then from there,
well,
I'm gonna do.
I know that there are, and you guys probably know metagaming, that there are other factions out there on the dock.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, and they know about you. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's ob 4 versus their will, but 1 dice disadvantage because they know about you. So it's an ob 5 test.
Wow.
Op 5 stealthy.
Yep.
So wouldn't
And the consequences of failure is that someone sees you. I'm not saying it's a thieves guild, but someone will observe you.
Okay.
Okay.
So quick question. You said it was ob 4, you raised it to ob 5, which is totally makes sense. But you said it was a die of disadvantage. Wouldn't that just subtract from our dice rather than adding to the ob? You can do either, but
no, obs add. So
Yeah.
dice
That's good.
add. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because then our test gets harder. So
That's true.
and with the loudest and slowest rule set. I believe Frida, you roll, and I give you and it's a stat test, right?
I don't even know how to do this. Okay. Oh, actually, I'm
Who's
sorry.
got the
I have
best stealth? I would recommend that the best
I
stealth.
actually,
Eric,
I
I
actually
think, has
have.
the best stealth.
I have got
actually-
one. I've got stealthy
Oh, you
one.
have one?
No.
Oh.
I've got. It turns out I have stealthy 3. I was not
Stealthy
looking at my
wasn't
character
in my
sheet.
life paths at all, so I had to.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So-
You have stealthy 3. Amazing. So you do know.
Yeah, I do know. I'm just a difficult braggart who wants to.
Right.
Who wants
Okay.
to? Yeah.
I'm going to give you a helping die, and
Okay.
Eric can give you a helping die. So we'll have 5 dice.
All right.
And hopefully we'll explode some 6s and we'll make this test.
All right. Sounds good.
Challenging, stealthy, receive.
All right. So I've got. Let me see. Is it? Does it? Given that part of this is. I guess it doesn't make sense to fork in observation to find a good hiding place, because that would be more like a linked test. Is that right?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, do an observation, because there are other things that you might glean from an observation. Do an
Well,
observation first.
I'll do
for
that.
sure.
Because I got the
All right.
I got the fancy aura reading skill.
And
Okay.
I'll make this
All
a
right.
graduated test, so depending upon how many dice of success you get, I will give you more info.
Can you give him some
Yeah.
kind of base ob just so he knows what he's so he has
Oh,
for
yeah,
advancement purposes?
so you're gonna look for a good hiding spot. I don't think that's gonna be, if you're hiding away from the docks, I don't think that's gonna be too hard. I'm gonna say ob3. Maybe
Okay.
even ob2, ob2.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna say that if you get 3 or more, I'll give you extra information.
All right.
All
Would you
right.
like a helping die sound? I have observation.
I'm not. So I'm rolling yeah. Okay. So. So I'll
Is this
take
a
one
thing that
second.
does his aura reading help with this particular thing?
Yeah, can we just bring up, I want to bring up the rules on that. I just gonna bring up my burning wheel gold. 1 sec, okay?
Take your time.
Very entertaining watching us look up rules while I search through folders.
Make it interesting by sharing your screen, looking through,
Yeah.
find it
Yeah.
visually interesting.
It'd be
Yeah.
nice if we had one of those things where you can change the camera view and we can actually look at Sandra's hands looking at the book. That would be very exciting.
Oh wow. Control F or second side or reading.
I'm gonna run and get it my hard copy just so I have it on hand.
Yeah, I just was moving so fast in the morning to get ready. I woke up at 11:34. I mean at 9:34.
Son, what are you looking for?
Aura reading. This talent. Oh no, so this is not the thing, right? The right thing. It's second sight.
And that's a trait.
Trait, yeah, second sight. Sorry for. If it's it.
Second sight. Okay, I got it. With second sight, the character can peer vaguely into the shifting shadows of the spirit world. It is a powerful, multifaceted ability. Through an act of concentration, you can push through the veil of reality to see the other side. This costs 1 action in fight, but otherwise would be done at will. The second sight grants the ability to discern if something is magical or not.
Oh, here. Second sight turns perception into observation for detecting stealthy or inconspicuous characters. Any physical actions taken while using second sight suffers a +1 op. So I just roll perception, and it's basically.
Oh, I see. It acts like it's observation, and I can help you with my observation skill because you're using effectively observation.
Yes, perfect.
All right.
All right.
I'm giving you a helping die if you want it. Your ob is 2.
I got it. Submit. Ob2. Submit.
Wow, nice.
Dice are cast.
You have a
What did I
6
say?
there. Do you want to explode it?
It should actually automatically go, right? Since it's perception. So how do I re-roll that 6? Is there like do I
/R 1d6. You can also click on your fate sheet. Hang on, if you go to your character sheet and you go to fate
mm-hmm.
and
You don't spend
just
fate
click
on
on the dice,
yeah.
and it'll be 1 dice remaining of 0.
Is perception always open-ended?
Yeah,
don't think
perception's
so,
always
but I don't know.
open-ended. Yeah. Perception's always open-ended.
Yeah, it's weird that it didn't take that into account. That's weird.
So I'll just so /
You could do /R space 1d6.
1d6. Got it. 5 successes.
Wow. All right.
Nice.
There's you guys move up to the docks super well, you move up, but you're not in hiding yet. You're in observation. And you look around, you find a spot, but you also see multiple groups. You see one group hiding together, and you're not exactly sure how many people are there, but it's a gang. It's not like 1 or 2. And then off to the right of the docks, you see another group hiding, and it's kind of a gang there, more than 1 or 2. And then there's a beggar who is leaning against a building, but he's got like a clear view of the docks.
All right.
Shit. Watch out. So we try and blend into the shadows, so that they don't observe us. And we feel very cocky and happy that we are doing that.
Yeah, and the consequences of failure are going to be that one of those 3 groups, Group A, Group B, or Group C, the beggar, will see you.
Did we stealthy
the
yet?
beggar, the beggar.
So can you, Peter, can you repeat? We have Group A, which is, can you describe that group really quick?
Yeah,
Again, I'm sorry. I was
off to the
just trying to
left.
type.
It's far away and it's dark and they're trying to be hidden. So you don't exactly, there's nothing really to describe. It's just a gang of people. And then off to the right, there's another gang of people. And then there's a beggar. And you can tell he's filthy, leaning against a building. And he's just by himself.
And he's not really making an attempt to be hidden.
He looks
or
to
he's
be
not
just
making as
hanging
much.
out along the building. Yeah.
All right, great. To a gang of people trying to hide. So
The
2
other
groups
2
trying to
groups
hide.
are trying to hide. The beggar's not.
Got it. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm sick of this. I think we are. Go ahead. I don't mean to make too much noise, but I was going to say I could announce I'm sick of all this in the dark. I'm going home.
Did we even hide yet? Did we even?
No, we're about to hide. Now we're about to hide.
Yeah, and you're going to get a bonus dice for hiding because your link test was successful.
Great. All right.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead. So that last test, which I helped in, was an observation test against OB2.
Yeah.
Was the base on. Okay. So I'll write that down. Base 2. All right.
Cool.
Okay. So now we attempt to hide. This is going to be Frida attempts to hide so we looked around, we see what we think is a good hiding place over behind we're going to be inside one of the
he said, yeah,
some boxes that are outside some boxes that are outside one of the warehouses, the group so we Frida makes some noise moving away like they're going home, and then they creep back in a stealthy way and get themselves behind behind these boxes.
Nice.
Who is helping me with this hiding, this stealthy attempt?
Me.
Me as well.
Okay, and you guys both have stealthy?
Yeah.
Great, perfect. Okay, then in that case, I will go ahead and roll my stealthy dice. So the total ob you established, Peter, was 5, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got 3 base stealth. I'm getting a helper die from each of you guys. That's a total of 5. This is feeling like it might be time to spend a Artha.
You also got 1 dice from the link test.
Mm.
Right, 6 dice.
Yeah.
And I do have some persona to spend because we got persona last time, so I could put in a persona as well. That would be a total of 7 dice on an odd 5. It's still not great odds, but it's at least better than it was. This feels like it's important to not fail. Should I be putting in 2 persona or just 1, you guys think?
I wish I could give you persona.
No, you can't do that.
Don't,
Nope, I
whatever
can't
you
do
do, don't leave yourself with 0 persona, because you can always
Agreed.
spend a persona to keep yourself alive.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I feel like I think we're almost certainly going to fail this. Putting in 1 persona is probably not going to do it, so maybe I shouldn't
No.
spend it.
It's
Well,
not worth
what's
it.
the op?
It's not worth it. Let's use
Okay.
it to escape.
Okay, here we go. So I've got 2 help, and I have no Artha, and our base obstacle is, oh no, I actually have 3 help. Cancel, because we got the
Bonus die.
advantage die. So
Yeah.
doing that again,
Thank you.
starting over. 2 help plus 1 advantage die, no Artha, base obstacle 5, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Here I go.
Oh, but 1 extra ob for the, oh no, that is the 5. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
wow.
Oh, yeah, just 3 successes. One of those is a
1
6,
6.
but 1 6 is not against a
Nothing.
5. There's not much of a chance to do it. So, not a great roll. Not a terrible roll, about typical. All right, so we are not successful in hiding. At least one of those groups has seen us.
All right, the beggar looks at you guys and softly he says, alms for the poor. Then he
Oh,
says it a
Warren.
little bit loudly, more loudly, alms for the poor.
Can I dart quickly forward and cover his mouth?
Yeah, do the Nico violence.
Just
Alms
what?
for the poor.
Just lunge.
Yeah.
Is it loud?
Okay.
I mean, okay, so you're giving us that as a consequence here. Is that, I mean, it's loud enough that's gonna get us in trouble, right?
We're in
It
trouble.
sounds
And-
like he's trying to
and if
get louder and louder until you give him money.
He's going to bribe. He's willing to take a bribe to pretend that he doesn't see us.
All right,
So,
yeah, I'm gonna.
you wanna-
I think. I mean, the first thing that that Nico thinks is just pounce on this fucker.
Yeah.
I think I'm up for just throwing a coin to this guy because I don't want to make more trouble. I hold a arm back and toss a.
Do you have
coin.
a cash dice?
We're talking serious money.
Yeah.
No, I do not have cash dice.
You guys are broke,
thought-
man.
Yeah,
you
I
can
thought we
either
were the
make
same-
a resource test or give up a cash dice.
I have 0
I see.
resources.
Good call.
Or you
earlier we
can
weren't-
try to, you can do something else. You do have social skills. You can try to
Absolutely.
bargain with him.
I
Or
mean,
you
I don't
can
know. You
kill
got
him, which
you got
is-
Nico like wriggling out of your arm here.
Yeah, let's
I
just
let
let Nico
Nico-
do what Nico does.
Okay, so within the fiction, I think Frida looks in her coin purse and finds an iron obol, which is the lowest value coin in Lankhmar, and tosses it at the guy, and the guy just like says louder, alms for the poor. And at that point, Frida stops holding Nico back and in fact encourages Nico toward him.
Do you have intimidation, Eric?
I do. It's B2.
Yeah, and then
Um,
fort brawling.
Yeah. I mean, because what I'm thinking of doing is just going forward and really just like kind of grabbing them and just hand over mouth, basically.
Okay.
So
Okay.
would that be intimidation first, or I mean, or is
Fort
that
brawling?
Is it
No,
just
it's
brawling?
intimidation.
Because it's
It's
No,
intimidation.
physical.
it doesn't sound like brawling. It sounds like intimidation.
Yeah, it's intimidation with brawling forked in.
With like a physical element.
Peter, can I make clear from my posture that I am big, even though I'm crouched down and I'm getting ready to take my sword out? I'm ready to back Nico.
You
So I'd
have
like to give it.
intimidation.
I do indeed, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. And
All
I'm gonna say that the consequences for failure are going to be that this guy is gonna try to run away. He'll probably run away screaming. I think if he thinks he's gonna be attacked.
Right into one of these other groups, possibly.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
okay. It's good. That's all the name of the game, guys.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
It's gonna go bad either way.
Yeah.
All right, so intimidation, and I can fork in brawling.
Yeah.
And
Is that what we say?
and fork in brawling and add a helper die from me.
Okay, so that's 2. Sanj, you're probably not.
I don't have intimidation.
Okay.
This guy's a beggar, so he's only gonna have a will of 2.
Okay. So yes, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna be at 4 dice. Should I add anything? Oh, persona. What does
No.
persona do? It adds a die?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's costly. It's like it's better currency.
Right.
You don't get many of them, but I mean, we did all earn some last session. In fact, I need to update my numbers. I didn't do that at the end of the session. At the end of the session, according to my records, you earned a for your secret wise, establishing the holdover Jovan. You got most valuable player, so that gave you a persona. So you earned a persona from that. So you have 2. You should have 2 persona at the moment because you started with 1.
Yep. Yep, and I've got 2. I've got 2 fate. Now fate. What does fate do in? I've got it from the other
makes
game.
the
But
sixes. It makes the 6s explode. So if you
Okay.
roll any
it's
6s,
after.
1 fate will explode all the 6s that you have.
Okay. Got it. All right. So all right. So I guess so no Arthur here. Base obstacle.
2.
You said 2. Okay. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Yep. Lunging forward, wriggling out of Frida's, protectorly grip.
Oh wow. You did get a 6 though, but yeah, you had horrible rolls.
Yeah. Traders, every one of them.
Wow.
Now here's the key thing about spending fate. Sometimes you want to spend the fate even if you're gonna fail. And the reason is because spending fate on a skill counts toward your shade shifting. So is
That's true.
intimidation a really important skill for you that you want to be great at? If it is, how many fates you have left?
I've got 2. I think it is because at least from a player standpoint, I'm just picturing her. This is the kind of stuff that she does. So I think
Right,
that and if it comes down to intimidation, yes, it is important to her.
The
Joe
bad thing
Pesci
is
and
that you
his
don't
gray
have a lot
shade
of fate.
intimidation.
Yeah, that's the bad thing, that you don't have a lot of fate to blow. So it's a gray line. I don't want to say it's the right or the wrong answer. You have to choose, and you guys can chime in. What do you think you should do?
Whatever.
2 fates, not a
Not
lot.
gonna- So
but
let's save it for later.
often fate's pretty easy to earn. So generally, I would say maybe not a terrible thing to blow, just for the eventual shade shifting thing.
I want to do it. Let me do it.
Okay, do it. Go
And
for
just
it.
kind of seeing what happens.
Yeah.
So
All
to
right,
do it, what
you
you
get
can
a
do
6.
is go to your character sheet.
Yep.
Then where you see the word fate, there's a dice
Yep.
right next to it. Click on that.
Okay. Clicking.
You have 1 dice. Remaining ob is 2.
Remaining ob is 2.
So does that automatically roll when he clicks on fate, or he has to
Yeah.
now manually roll a die?
It
So the
pops up a
remaining-
dialogue, then you fill in the dialogue.
Oh, I see.
For you.
I get
So
it.
the remaining ob, it came up just naturally as 1.
But it's
Is
2.
it-
The remaining ob is 2.
It's 2. Okay. Dice 1.
Oh, you did actually get a success.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you didn't, you would have had to roll over again. So the good thing is you can mark down that you've spent a fate on intimidation. And if you look at your character sheet, go down to the skill intimidation,
Yep.
and then you'll see F, P, and D next to it.
Oh yeah, it did it automatically.
Nice.
You
Nice.
actually have to update it manually, but you can just put in for what did you use? Intimidate. Yeah, you got one in there. Perfect.
Yeah. Did I use a fate last? Because I think I tried to intimidate somebody last time. Did I use a fate? Did I already do this
Oh, you
last
might
time?
have. If that was already
Yeah, I think
built
you
in,
did.
go ahead and
Yeah, you don't have,
the two.
you had to, you clearly
Right.
used a fate last time because you said you only had 2 at the start of this session and you'd have
Yep.
3 if you hadn't spent any. So,
Okay, cool. And then as far as risky whatever routine, let's see. I had how many dice did I have? I
yeah,
had
you
four
had 4
dice.
dice on 2, which is a routine test.
Routine. Okay, cool.
This
Boom.
guy jumps up when he sees you guys coming at him, and he screams at the top of his lungs, "Don't hurt Ali!"
Oh gosh.
I just want to like in my observation of from where I am, and I'm looking at those other 2 groups for any reaction from them. Do any of them do I recognize Slayer, the Thieves Guild dude that I'm dating kind of?
You
Or
can
do I
definitely
recognize
make
any
a.
of his?
You could make an observation.
Okay, can we let it ride on the other one, or it's a brand new test?
Oh, interesting. You did do good. And maybe this would be, yeah, I think we can let it ride. So you definitely know that one of the groups are members of the Thieves Guild. You can just tell by how they're dressed. Now that everybody, both groups, A and B, turned around to watch the beggar. B group, you don't know. It's you can't, they don't look like they're from the Thieves Guild.
Is there? Do they look higher class, or from a different part of town, or maybe as if there's any religious iconography on them, like symbols, or
They don't have any of that, but they are well armed. They are here for trouble.
oh shit.
But after a while, everything settles back down.
Mm-hmm.
The fog rolls in,
Nice.
and off in the distance, you can see a ship approaching.
Okay.
And then finally, the ship rolls in and it docks on the port. It is a nice ship. It's an incredible ship. This thing is it's long, it looks luxurious. It's definitely not owned by a poor person. And it moors to the dock, but then everything kind of calms down. It gets quiet. The guards are just sitting around the ship. Some are kind of nodding off a little, but nothing else is happening.
So the sailors have I have some sailing experience, rigging and seamanship. So the sailors have jumped off, they've moored the vessel as per the norms of sailing. Is that right?
Yeah. And then they jump back on and they went below decks.
Okay. And so there's guards up on the deck of the boat. The sailors moored the thing, did sort of the standard things, but then rather than unloading anything, jumped back on the vessel and went below. And meanwhile, the guards are still on the vessel, standing guard, watching warily for something. They're standing guard.
They don't seem to be
waiting.
watching warily. They're kind of nodding off like it's, it doesn't look like they expect anything bad to happen.
Of course they don't. That's where I come in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we the 3 of us kind of clustered together still? Is that kind of how we're rolling?
Oh yeah, I would imagine that you're all in a group.
So we can kind of whisper to each other.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you're not close, like all these three groups, you and A and B are not close to each other.
No. Who's the closest to the ship?
The B group is closest to the ship.
Which is the heavily armed non-thieves
Yeah.
guild members.
Does anybody have the codex right there handy?
Yeah.
Can someone look up skulking for me? It's a trait.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you have to bonus guys himself.
Is it a monster trait?
It's a rodent trait.
Rodent trait. Okay. So it's not going to be in the monster trait list. It'll be under the
No.
rodent section. You,
I
yeah.
have the codex, but it's still packed in a box somewhere.
Yeah. How's the new apartment working out?
Great, real good,
Glad to hear it.
real nice.
What are these damn rodent? Are they toward the beginning of the book or toward the end?
I find this book, the traits are at the end, all of them.
Oh, the rodent traits are there too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I should have just looked in the monster traits then.
skulking.
I don't know if it might aid me. I didn't have anything written in the thing. I don't know if I should.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it in the monster trait list.
Oh, it's not. No,
I
sorry.
got here's the way of the wolves. Here's the mountains of trolls. Here's the nests of rodent. Okay, I've got the right region. Nest of rodent. Here we go. 448 or so.
Yeah,
I don't see it here either. You spell it
it's
SK.
probably a character trait.
Oh yeah, maybe
probably.
you just wrote it down as one of your character traits.
No,
Okay.
maybe it's like a given character trait. Maybe it's a given character trait. Like
I gotcha.
So generally, it just means I'm more apt to be skulking around than
yeah, like
trotting
you
around. And
role play
things like
into
that.
that
Okay.
as like just a style of like who you are, you know.
Yep. There's another just little point of order, just so we know. I've got tunnel vision. So I can see normal in low lit areas, but not in complete darkness. So if there's a little bit of light, I can see as normal. So it reduces
Nice.
penalties for dim light by 1 step. So
Amazing.
We
Oh,
should have
shit.
probably added you
Oh,
bonus dice for that for the ob.
or I should have also suffered a penalty, a higher obstacle for the darkness, you know.
We'll balance them out. We'll say they
Yep.
canceled each other out.
Yeah. What?
So
What
should
do you-
we?
yeah, let's go.
Guys, let's role play.
Okay. So
What do you think we should do now?
I don't care about these others. These other groups are cowards. Let's advance now while the guards are unaware of us. I know boats pretty well, and we can. There's a rope aft that we can climb up. Can I look around? Is there a rope aft where we can sort of crawl aboard ship without these guards seeing us quite so easily? Maybe make a stealth roll that way.
Man, you know, the ship is big enough that they have complete view of the docks. It would be
Right.
difficult to
Really hard to do.
get
Got it.
on there without being seen. Not impossible, but it would be hard.
Listen, muscles for brains.
What about getting a rowboat that's tied off at the dock down the way on the docks and coming at the boat from the water side?
I feel like they'd still see. I mean, they definitely hear us coming and see us coming, unless we were like super good at stealth rowboating.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on
Kind of
how choppy the
possible.
water
Actually,
is.
That's actually a very good idea. That is a good idea, Frida. Let's try that.
All
If
right.
we go like up the dock, look for a little boat, sneak in, and then come in from the water side. Very good idea.
All right. So if we from where we're sitting, we probably don't see any boats just sitting around. 100 yards or 300 yards down the way. But
Do you
there,
want
it's
to
the kind
move
of thing
around
that,
and make an observation?
yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to sort of get up and you
Oh,
know, in a fairly quiet way, sort of skulk our way down away from the boat, like we've moved on.
I'm going to say this is a new ob because it's for something completely
absolutely
different. So
something
who
completely
wants to
different.
make this ob?
Is observation a skill?
Yeah, observation is a skill, and
Skill.
I've got the skill. I'm not sure whether Sanj can help me with his. Oh, that's actually, you have the ob for your perception thing is for seeing people. Is that right? Not for seeing boats.
no, this would
Seeing
be
like
separate.
seeing like sneaking things.
Sneaking
I think
things.
if
So
you're, yeah, if observation is specifically for inconspicuous and stealthy, and just general like looking for a boat is perception.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
it's like a,
Okay.
when
So
you
this is
do in
just a
fight, you do,
straightforward.
yeah.
Understood. This is
Just
simply
looking
a
around.
perception check. Does that sound right to you, Peter? That this is simply a perception check rather than an observation skill?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. In that case, any of us can make it. Perception, it's hard, and we can all help one another. So the trick with perception is that if you're going to, it is open-ended, as Sanj said earlier. But if we're going to log a test, we need to be successful on the test.
Yeah.
What's our ob here for perceiving a thing?
Well, only difficults count.
Difficult and
don't
challenging.
think it's gonna
Finding
be-
a boat on the dock is not like
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm
know?
gonna say it's 3 just because you're limited in where you can move to because you're trying not to be
We're
seen.
kind of do it fairly fast, right? Exactly.
Three is-
We're trying to be fairly
3 is
fast.
the good general obstacles to be handing out.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah.
So it's a 3. And
I got a B5.
guess,
Yeah, I've got 5
great.
too.
You are the person for this. I have only a 4, so I'm going to give you my helper die.
Okay, I'm gonna say that the consequences of failure are that you are gonna be seen by either group A or group B or both.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Sounds good. All right. All right.
Mhm.
So take a helper die from both of us. And this is ob 3.
All right, here we go. Vina. Oh yeah, you know what? Every time I have my character sheet up on roll 20 and I press something, the little dialog box where the input value comes in, it goes behind the character sheet.
Yeah, roll
So-
20 is terrible, man. I'd love to use Foundry, but I have to set up a server to do it. So one of these days.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry we haven't gotten to that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
What?
Did you get a helper die from me?
He had
Yes.
7d6. So he had 2 helper dice and he got 1 success on 7 dice. And
Bro.
we're working through all the bad luck.
But
You do get to
roll.
You do
I'm
get
gonna
to you get
roll forward.
get
So you
Okay.
guys do see a boat. You see a couple of rowboats, but
Yeah.
you also see something very curious. You see this creature, and it is sneaking up to the boat. It is poling on a raft, and it is about 6 feet tall, but it's got little stubby legs, and it's got little stubby arms, and it's carrying the pole. And as it gets to the boat, it does this incredible leap from the raft all the way up into the boat.
Into the ship?
It's a creature on a raft.
Not into the ship, into the mini rowboat, into the
Okay. Into one of the boats.
He pulls up
Oh.
and jumps into the ship. It jumps up about 15 feet from the water into the ship.
A creature?
Oh, okay. So in other words, we just as we find a good rowboat for us to use, we notice something else is out there doing the same thing we had planned to do and jumping
Yes.
into the boat. And now we're under time pressure to catch up with it.
Right. And the
Understood.
2 groups that were on the docks are shouting at you guys. They're pointing, hey.
Right.
Ah!
So we've been spotted. No one else has spotted the creature. Got it.
That's right.
Okay, got it.
Wait.
But we saw this creature, right?
You did.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just got this image in my head of Nico kind of scurrying over towards the ship and shedding some clothes and just hopping in the water and then just swimming over to the ship and trying to like find her way up. She's kind of a maverick, and I'm sorry about that.
That's cool. Let's
And
go,
by the
man.
way, this creature did not look human. It
Yeah,
little stubbly legs, only about that long, but it's 6 foot tall, and it only had little
how's
stubbly arms.
And it was
so how,
clothed.
was it like snake-like? Like, was it long and thin or like
It's long and
very?
thin, but it
Uh-huh.
had a tail as well, a little stubbly tail, maybe about
What the
that
fuck
long.
is this thing?
Holy mackerel!
Did we see a head or
We've never
face?
seen anything like
You've never
fanciful.
seen anything like it.
Like we've
Okay,
never seen monsters in our lives, right?
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
You
Like,
don't know what this thing
how
is.
would our minds process this, like in this setting? You know?
I think I'm gonna stand and drool.
Could I ask you a quick question? So you said we were spotted and people cry out. Now, are you sure that it's the two groups that spot us and cry out? Because that means they're giving away their own position to the guards on the boat, or is it the guards on the boat who spot us and cry out?
I think what's happening is that they're reacting. They're not chasing you. They pointed at you, but they're moving towards the boat. Those
Got
two
it.
groups now are not moving to you. They are moving to assault the boat.
Because they know we're in action and they're going to get there before us because they're on feet and we've moved out of position. I understand.
This sucks.
And they
We have to do something. What do we do, guys? Do we continue forward into the boat and come what may, get what we need to get?
All right. Well, I'm gonna signal my
Say,
my
I'm
intent
in.
to I'm signaling intent to you guys by I take off my cape and I'm like looking like I'm getting ready to get naked.
you
And
will the water is cold and you will come up from it sapped of your vital energies. Get in the boat. I will get us there fast. I have good arms.
so we do have a boat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we do have a
We
boat.
got a boat.
Okay. All right.
All right.
You
So
also see the guards on the boat begin to jump up because they see these attacking groups coming toward, and they're getting
Alright.
defensive.
Okay, so let's continue with the plan. They might be distracted. Now's the time. Let's go.
all right. We get in the boat, cast off. Hopefully it's a seaworthy vessel. There's probably a couple of inches of water in the bottom of it and it's filthy because it's that kind of boat. Okay, so give us a good shove off. The two of you. I'm in my oars. They're gonna shove us off and then leap in, and then I'm gonna start rowing hard to bring us to the boat.
We don't have to make this a test, but do you have any
Yeah.
rowing skill or anything like that?
Well, so I am assuming that sort of rowing is counted as one of those standard things that you get when you're a sailor. What I have is seamanship and rigging.
You know what? If you want, you can make a seamanship test.
Great. Is this what I'm hoping it's not a super high ob because it wasn't like
You know what? I think this is going to be a graduated test. So depending upon how many successes you roll will be how good you do.
All right, so we put it down as a one ob just so we know, so I have something to test.
I think it's a
against.
time complication. Let's make it a time complication, right?
Okay.
So the lower you do, the we're struggling to even get to
Absolutely.
the side of
I'm
the
only
ship.
I'm only asking for an ob so I know what kind of test
I think the ob
to
will
mark.
come based upon how many successes you get, right?
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. All right, so here I go. Rolling seamanship. I'm not getting any help from you guys because you don't know what you're doing on a boat. In fact, I'm sort of barking instructions. Stay centered. Stop moving around so much. You're tipping the boat.
We're bumbling through this one. Okay.
So no help.
I would say if you don't at least get one success, then the penalty for failure or the consequences of failure will be like the boat is leaky. It's just not going to make it to the ship.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. I love it. So I don't think I can not fork in anything. I've got rigging and knots, but neither of those is helpful until we get to the other thing. And once we get to the other boat, maybe the knots is helpful. But okay, so I'm just rolling 2 dice on an open ob. Or actually, I'm going to write it down as an ob 1 just so we have it. Arthur dice none. Base obstacle 1 because if I don't get any successes, it's not good. Here we go. 2 successes.
Yes. Amazing.
Frida jumps in the boat, drags Nico, grabs him by the collar, drags him into the boat, kicks, and Vina jumps into the boat as well. Frida then kicks the boat off of the dock, and just with 3 huge strokes, she makes it all the way to the boat.
All right.
Amazing.
You guys got there, and there's a battle now going on at the foredeck, and you guys are at the aft deck.
Great. It's time
Let's
for some
climber
climbing.
up. Let's climber up. So is there a rope or something that we can use to climb up the boat? I look around.
Yeah, there's at the aft of the boat, there's kind of like a fishing deck. And so it's meant that you could actually climb down close to the water to pull fish out of the water.
Yeah.
So you can
Ah.
definitely climb up that. It'll take like an ob 1 climbing maneuver.
Okay, so that
can I just hand these 2 people up and get them up because I actually have climbing and I'm pretty good at this. So, and I'm tall.
I think you could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you didn't want help on this.
No, it's fine. Like
All right.
I picture like it's easy to get onto the little fishing deck off of our boat and onto the little platform. Now there's like we have to climb up onto the actual aft the deck where the fighting is happening in the foredeck, right? So
Yeah,
looking
you're
up
in the aft and the fighting's happening in the foredeck.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to boost these guys up, and then clamber up myself. I've knotted the painter of the little skiff that we're in to the rear, to the stern of this boat, so we don't lose it. We can use it again if we need to. Do you want me to roll any kind of climbing to get everybody up, or to boost people up, or are we just saying it's good?
Let's do that, and I'm gonna do another graduated test to see how many people you get up there before something special happens.
I want to try I want to open climbing if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's one of those tests that I wanted to get. So
all right, so you're going to go up on your own, and I'm boosting. Unless you also want to open climbing, Eric.
I kind of want to open climbing if it's not too much trouble. It
Okay.
seems like me like a ratty person, it's kind of should be in my wheelhouse.
All right, we're all going up on our own. And are you guys helping one another? Because I'm not sure if you can help each other.
Probably not. You guys all want to do it at the same time to get all of.
We're all going up, which
right?
is sometimes savings. But yeah, here we go.
Okay.
So everybody
I'm rolling
make an
speed, guys.
climbing.
Yeah, I'm rolling speed now. So climb.
I'm gonna say the consequences of failure are that you are gonna be down in the rowboat when the special thing happens.
Got it. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So we're all independently rolling this. You're rolling speed to learn it. You're doubling the obstacle from 1 to 2, I think.
Yep. No help. Submit.
And you don't have to double the op. The software does it automatically.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't double the op.
So is he? So did you guys create the skill as a skill you're learning?
Yeah, there's something called being learned, and you type in the skill there. Yeah.
And when you push it there, it doubles the ob for you.
Got it. 2 successes.
Wow, good for you. You are up there.
Oh, what do I say?
Give you
I'll let everybody else roll and then.
What's the skill of climbing?
Why
did you give yourself a disadvantage there, Sanj? What happened there? Yeah, it reads wrong because it was 1 base ob. It should be 2 successes versus obstacle 2. It gave you a disadvantage for some reason.
Oh, I must have written something wrong. Should I redo it or?
No, I mean, we
Doesn't
know what
matter.
you rolled. So you rolled the right number of dice. You have a 5 speed, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so it rolled 5 dice. And against an obstacle 1 doubled to 2, you had
Yeah,
2
I got it.
successes versus 2. You're
Do you
good.
have to
Yeah.
beat the ob in a test?
no, meet
No,
it,
you just have to meet the ob.
meet the
But for some reason, it gave a +1 disadvantage, and I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll not worry
Yeah, I
about it.
don't know.
All right, Eric, do you want to go ahead and do yours?
Yeah. All right. So I've got climbing in here in the being learned area. Put in speed, and my speed is 3, and I just go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click the die thing. Help and advantages none. Art the dice none. Base obstacle. It's graduated. So 0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
2 successes. Great. You made it.
All right. So you guys are both working on that. I'm going to go ahead and roll my climbing. This is 2 dice versus the knob 1. Watch now. She's not going to be able to do it. It will be very silly if she can't get up on her own. Can I fork in knots because I've got knot skill and they're going up with ropes, or is that not a fair thing?
Yeah, I think you could do that. Sure.
Yeah, she's good with it's one of the usual forks for climbing. So I'll put in a fork, and here we go. Base ob 1. I got the 1 success I needed. There you
Nice.
are.
All right. Knife drawn.
Wow, amazing. You all made it. Barely. Frida was awkward, looking a little awkward getting up there, but got up.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so
You
I-
see
yeah,
this
Yeah.
creature that you saw before? It is standing on the deck railing, and it's got a 2-foot by 3-foot long box on its shoulder, and 2 of its little stubbly arms are holding up onto it, and it looks like it's about to do this giant leap toward the other dock, which is about 30 feet, with that box on its shoulder. What do you do?
Okay. So when we get up there, we see this creature has the box on its shoulder.
Yep.
So I'm gonna run and try and tackle it.
I think what we need to do here is a speed test. So who is the fastest?
I have B5.
Yeah.
Anyone beat that?
No, and Sanj has the highest speed.
Okay, Stanj,
oh.
they can help you. Like,
Mhm.
I would imagine that they're rushing at it too, so in effect, they're helping you,
Yeah.
so they can give
Yeah.
you helping dice. But this
Yeah.
Sanj,
creature is
Yeah.
fast, so it's an
Okay.
ob 7 you have to beat.
What? Okay.
It has a 7 speed?
Yeah,
That is insane.
yeah.
No, wouldn't
Wow.
it be
This thing is fast.
wouldn't it be a roll like an opposed test, like mine versus his roll?
Oh, yeah. That would make some sense.
We could do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
let me, I will roll. Go ahead and tell me what you're gonna fork in. The consequences of failure is that this thing is gonna leap to the other dock.
I'm just
Got
putting
it.
2 advantage dice. There's nothing I can fork into a speed test. So
Right, 'cause
just
this is
getting
just
the
speed versus
helpers.
speed. Yeah.
And then when you roll first, and I'll put my obstacle in just for logging tests. Hopefully, I get a difficult.
Nobody has a net in their equipment, right? This is the moment to like here's the right equipment for this test.
Right tools.
Expensive equipment. All right. So yeah, we all like leap to tackle this creature. You've got 2 helper dice. It's 7 dice total for us, and I guess it's got a 7 speed, so it's got 7 dice.
All right, here we go. Oh my God.
Holy shit! One,
4
It's
successes
gonna
for the creature.
re-roll those
3,
sixes too.
4 successes, and
So
re-rolling those
that's-
6s.
Why would is he spending fate on this?
Only 1, so
So-
5. Up 5.
One,
Wow.
2, 3, 4, wait, 5 successes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. 7 dice. That's a difficult test for me, guys. Awesome. All of us.
That's right. You're all helping.
Challenging for some of you. Shit. We got 3 successes. And I could spend fate, but I'd have to get 2 6s to do anything here. Fuck it. I can't do anything. As I charge, like there it is, the box. And I
As it leapt and you kind of grabbed onto it, and it's furry. It kind of shocked you that it was furry, but it jumped all the way to the other pier, and now it's running toward the warehouses.
Is it clothed?
What's that?
Is it clothed? It's like it's clothed, right? Like
It had like a little tape on it,
I'm
okay.
gonna
but
As
other than
it's
that,
running
it
off-
wasn't closed.
as it's running off, I'm gonna take a beat. I think it's a bit risky to do this with other combatants and stuff on the floor. I'm gonna take a beat and try and read its aura, like see what aura it is. Like
Okay, no, you can do that.
emanating to get
You
because
were
I think
right
like
up next to it. You literally had your hand on it.
yeah. So I just want because there's aura reading for the low obs. It gives you things like seeing a character trait, uh, um, reading an aura trait, like aura of fear, reading mood, angry, calm, seeing a character trait, seeing a die trait or call on trait. Like a picture, like some kind of like indication of race. I don't know if that's what you would do. Like name the ob because it doesn't really fit, I guess.
Interesting. I think again, this would call for a graduated test.
Right. Actually, just looking. Yeah. Okay. Graduated test. Let me try. Or why don't I go?
Can you give him a
for-
base ob just for purposes of logging tests? Or is this a perception test, huh?
No, it's aura reading. The thing.
Oh, there's a skill oral reading. I misunderstood.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
yeah. I'll just put base ob 1.
Yeah.
Okay, submit. I got 1 success. With 1 success, I can't really
The aura that
reading
you got-
mood. I can read mood.
the aura that you got is that this thing is subjugated.
It's enslaved. It's a little like it's doing this under the bidding of something else.
Whoa.
Hey.
Is there like a magical essence that's coming off of it? Like a magical subjugation?
Absolutely.
Fuck. Nice. So my instinct draws in of stand and drool as I'm like observing the magical energies that are binding its personality to some force. And like I would even take a freaking tackle from an enemy because I'm on a ship. Like to trigger this, right? Like
Nice.
So you guys see like Venus just like
Yeah,
The guards-
I think I'm standing next to her, and like I see the thing jump fast, flying across through the sky. I see Vina just like dumbfounded, which I've never seen this before. I'm like, what the? She's usually go 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 just like me. And what's going through Nico's mind is like getting this prince boy. That's kind of like her ulterior motive kind of thing. But seeing this thing going so fast, she challenged. You know, I should go first person. I feel very like this is a challenge for me. And I think I just need to try to chase it down. So like my
Nice.
instinct is to like scurry, like rat scurry, like across the, you know, the around the edge of the boat, possibly on the railing, you know, very cool looking, and just going right for it. I think I gotta break off.
You
So
can
I think,
roll
Eric,
your
that requires you to
speed
jump.
if you want to chase it down.
Say that again, Peter.
You can roll your speed if you want to chase it down. I'll say that the consequences of failure is that you get engaged in the fighting at the stern of the not the stern, the fore of the ship.
Or, yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. So quick question. I had thought the creature had jumped all the way down to the dock from the ship. Is that not correct? He
You could
simply
definitely
jumped.
jump down to the
No,
dock.
I
This
just-
thing jumped to the other dock.
Yeah, I'm trying to basically like get to it as fast as I can, like kind of like
Yeah, I see.
however I can.
So there's two docks like this coming out. The ship is in between the two docks. It's close to one dock. It's moored to one dock. It's some distance from the other dock. The creature, we could jump easily enough directly to the dock that's next to us, but it jumped a long way over the water
It
to the
was
next
an
to the next dock over.
absolutely inhuman jump. There's no human.
Okay.
who could
So
make
we're
that.
not going to follow it directly.
There's
We can
no
jump
way.
down to the dock next to us and then run the long way around to try to catch it. We could get back in the little rowboat and try to row over, though that sounds really slow.
But if you
Um,
jump down onto the dock, the close dock, which you can jump onto, there's a chance you will get stuck in the fighting. So
'Cause
that's
there's
what
fighting
the
down in the- there's-
consequences of failure are.
I
Like,
understand.
Jump
I
onto
understand
the
now.
dock, you try to run by the melee
'Cause
that's going on.
There's fighting taking place down on the docks, not just up on the ship. I understand
Right.
now. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay, cool.
So
All right.
you peel off and go after this thing. Make
Yep.
a speed
All right.
test.
And I think at the moment Frida is trying to decide. I need to decide whether I'm also chasing the money or going for the pretty boy. And she had a belief about the pretty boy. On the other hand, the whole mission is about this box. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. What's my speed? This thing's fast.
All right. Well,
You go ahead, Eric. And Peter, do you need me to make this decision right now, or can I wait until I see how Eric's doing?
Yeah.
It feels a little cheap to wait until he's decided, until I know the consequences.
What are you
okay.
doing now, Frida?
Okay, what am I doing right here, right now? I'm on the boat. I'm looking for the boy.
Great.
okay.
Okay,
all right,
so we'll do this one at a time. I know Nico wants to chase it. So you
Right.
want to make that speed test?
yeah, my speed's only 3. But
Oh crap!
helping advantages, none, right? No, no one can really help me here. Arthur dice. I mean,
What's the you can ask what the ob is before you decide on Artha.
Oh, right. Yeah. What's the op going to be, Pete?
This is interesting. I would say if you want to actually catch it, it's going to be high. If you want to just be trailing it, it'll be far easier. I think
I think
odds be 5 if you just want to trail it, but if you want to catch it, it's going to be 7.
Wow. So it's already fucking more than I can handle, but that's okay though. And that's I'm just kind of doing my thing.
16.
So I've got 3. If I spend a persona, I get 1 more.
Yep.
Right. I get another die.
Yeah. And you can fork, and if you can think of things like if you have streetwise or think about things you can fork in.
Right. I don't really.
They don't have to exactly be related to speed. You just have to, in the narrative, say how it's going to be used. Like, I know these dots so well, or,
I've got. I mean, I could stealthy work because I know that I have to kind of dodge these other the fracas that's happening.
I would say yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's one of the things in my way, so I know how to kind of get around something.
I'm totally buying it. Go for it.
Okay. All right, so
Eric, do you have observation?
no.
And is anyone else gonna help him?
At the moment, we've split off, and Eric's doing this. Sorry.
I'm
You
playing my
should-
instinct.
Yeah, can you change your character, put your character name as the person you're texting as in the Roll20 thing? So that way when you roll, it rolls as you rather than as Eric.
If you go down to the
Yeah.
bottom right of your screen, it'll say the word as colon, and that's where you can change whether you're rolling as yourself or your character.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put in one for my fork. Arthur dice. Guys, do I use a persona here? It's
Do
kind
you
of
only
important.
have one person? Do you have only one persona at the moment?
I've got two.
I would say that this is a pursuit of your goal, your goal
Yeah.
is to
Yep.
Get that box. So
Seems important.
Do it.
Yeah.
it is important.
All right, base ob. You said 5, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm rolling the dice here. It's
So
kinda-
why does it keep giving you an extra disadvantage when you roll these things? It should be 5 base ob, and it gave you a +1 disadvantage.
I've got. I think I'm. Oh, you know what? I think I've got an. I've got a wound on my injury that I didn't
Oh.
take off from when we were
Got it, because
practicing.
when we were screwing around. Okay, let's take that off.
Oh, that's why. That's what happened to me too.
Okay, good. I was curious about that. They're like, what is this disadvantage you guys have then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
say that you will get embroiled in the fighting, but I'm for let it roll or let it ride reasons. You see this thing run into a building. It doesn't
Okay.
look like a building, it looks more like a home. It ran into a home.
Okay.
Close by.
You know
That's
what?
great.
One other thing that you saw is it's carrying the box over its shoulder, right? But when it ran up to the door, 2 extra little stubby arms came out and opened up the door.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Quick question. How do I how do I zero out my penalty here? My ob penalty.
I think you just delete the that entry. Oh, how do you delete the entry?
Yeah.
I have to look at it.
So that was a difficult test for my speed, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you
It
have
was-
to, I think if you click above, I'll do it for you, it clears it.
So, yeah, it was 5 dice. Yeah, click at the top above all the check marks, and it'll undo it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did
So
it.
it's 5 dice on 5, which is difficult.
Cool.
Hey, but that's great. Difficult tests are awesome,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice to get it even with the help.
Okay, so as the creature sort of like, oh, now it's Frida's turn. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, that's right. You were delaying. Yeah, so Frida looks around. There's not a lot going on. There's a fighting going on down at the docks, which has drawn the guards away. And so now she's looking. She knows how boats are laid out. She's been on many boats in her lifetime.
Oh, for sure.
So she's going down into the captain's quarters or the nice the passenger quarters and prowling around down there. Perhaps using observation or some other skill to try to figure out where is the young princeling being put up. Hopefully without having to open every door. But
roll your observation. This is gonna be an ob3.
okay. And she does have just asking for all the help I can get here. She is herself from noble blood from the northern regions. Can she get a +1 advantage
I
die
agree.
from?
Okay, I
yeah,
know it's not a
from kind of knowing what
test
the
or
customs are.
anything, but I think that would be an advantage that you kind of know more about the layout of a grand boat like this.
Right. Okay, so it's an ob3 observation test.
Yeah,
with
now
a
the
+1 advantage
consequences
die.
of failure,
Yeah.
I think are going to be, this is interesting. I'm gonna say that the consequences of failure are that there are gonna be guards down deck who are gonna interfere with you. They're gonna try to.
There are more guards down here, right? That makes a lot of sense. Okay, great. So +1 advantage die, and I'm not spending Eartha dice because I'm not fighting anybody yet, and I have a base ob of 3. Cross the fingers. This is not. No, we'll see how it goes. That was a terrible roll.
But in rolling forward with this,
Rolling forward.
the guards come up to you and they're trying to grab you and they're asking you, where is the prince?
I'm supposed to be picking up the prince from you. What are you talking about? I don't know where the prince is. Hand him over this minute. I am here to take him to the place where he will be married.
Okay, you want to, that sounds like a falsehood to me. Go ahead.
Absolutely falsehood.
Nice.
I am working on this thing that I need to learn.
It is,
so they
it is
probably
a
haven't-
marriage and they don't know who you are. So I
Right.
think this is just gonna be against their will.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say ob 3.
Makes a lot of sense. Again, I'm here. I actually think I can take advantage of my noble bearing. I do have a trait that is, I think, a call on for, but I don't know what's a call on for. Let me look at it. That real
Mark
quick.
of privilege is a die trait.
It's a die trait, exactly.
It gives you an affiliation.
Right.
I'll say that you can use that die trait, but I don't know the rules for it. You, do you have falsehood opened?
I do not have falsehood opened. Yeah, I think it still counts toward it, but I could be wrong.
It may, I'm
but of
not
course,
sure.
what it
That's
does
a
is
gray area.
what it does is it's going to give me a +1 die, but I'll still be rolling against double obstacles, so I don't think I have much of a chance.
Right.
So here we go. So I'm learning this. Skills I'm learning include falsehood. Can I, because I'm being pushy and like, you need to hand him over right now, can I also fork in intimidate? Oh, I can't fork in things if I'm not trained in the skill, I think.
Right,
So
you
I think
know.
I can't fork. Okay, so 1 advantage. Here I get that. Oh, in fact, it says that. It says help and advantages. It doesn't list forks as a possibility. So that's actually smart.
You can't fork with you can't fork with skills being learned.
Right, exactly. That's
Or
what
a
I just
beginner's
learned.
luck test.
Exactly,
And-
beginner's luck. Okay, so no to Arthur dice. What are consequences of failure here?
The consequences of failure are that they are going to order you off the boat.
Okay, sounds good.
They'll force you off the boat. If you won't leave, they'll physically force you off the boat.
I just want to know if they're going to pull out their swords. If all they want to do is
I
force me
don't
off the
think
boat-
so, because there's always a chance, even though you're a terrible liar, there's a chance that what you say is the truth. So I don't
I
think
gotcha.
they're gonna pull out swords, too risky. It's much easier for them to just throw you off the boat.
Okay, and I'm putting in the base obstacle is 3, and I assume it's going to double it for me.
Yep,
There is no additional ob.
no.
Oh boy, that was a terrible roll. Okay, that's great. So they totally do not believe her, and she grumbles, and you will be hearing from, and then she names the name of a noble that isn't even really related to them, but nonetheless, she's insisting that it's important, and is forced off the boat, I think.
Yeah, these guys physically like grab you by each arm and they get you to the dock and they dump you off the boat.
Okay, that's great. I love that color. That's fun. All right.
And you hear
But what I
shouts,
did-
find the prince.
So all this is going on, and I, like that the fur, the creature is out of my line of sight, like kind of moved off, and I shake my head. I'm like, what the hell, right?
You see
Like, what's going
Nico
on?
run off for it.
Right. And on the deck, what do I immediately see where I am right now?
You're kind of in the in a hurricane, you're in the eye of the storm. So
Right.
there's you see Frida getting thrown off the boat, and you see there's a battle happening, but around you, there's nothing really happening.
Cool. I have my first belief about the witch woman and nursemaid of the princeling. And considering what I've just seen and all that, I look around for her. And if I don't see her, I go down below decks to look for her in her rooms.
I think this sounds like a Circles. Is she a relation?
Nope, no. She's
Okay.
definitely circled. Yeah, baby. I love me some circles. But this is going to be extremely hard. All right. Circles. What's the obstacle? I don't have any reputations, affiliations, or advantages.
Vina,
I think she's
what's
gonna
Vina
be
doing?
above your station. She's gonna have an uncommon occupation because she's the witch woman. So I think we're talking like what is that, ob 6?
Hmm.
Wait, so Sanj, just to clarify, I was typing what happened to Frida and I lost track of what was going on. You are doing what exactly?
I'm looking for the witch woman.
Oh, who's
like,
associated? You're
yeah,
looking
my
for the
first,
witch woman who we think is going to be somewhere here on the boat. Is that right?
yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
circles test? Because it's not like she's spending several hours asking around about a witch woman. She's here on the boat looking for a witch woman who she has reason to believe is on the boat, right? Wouldn't that be more like an observation test?
It could be. Observation again is just for stealthy and thing. It could be, nobles wise, boat wise, whatever. But I'm happy with circles too because I am like calling up an NPC, right?
Right. I just don't think that's how circles work. Because circles is like because there's also a right here, right now penalty when you're trying to find somebody who you need. Like if I wanted a shoemaker right here on the docks, I would be right. It would be difficult to find a shoemaker.
Well, ob 6 is a pretty high ob, no? Like, did
It
you?
is, yeah. I just don't think it's the right mechanic, but I'm ready to shut up and move on, and you can roll it.
Right. Okay.
Because you could be
good with that, Pete? Should I roll circles or yeah?
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah. Okay.
all right. We'll shut up.
Peter's just waiting for us to stop yapping.
I'm throwing a persona dice into this. Okay.
Okay.
And obstacle 6. Wow. It's not like I'm never gonna make it, but I like the failure consequence.
Yeah. There's no real consequence for circles other than enmity, but don't worry about it. Go ahead. We won't worry about
Yeah.
consequences.
Yeah. I trust you. Oh yeah. 2
So
successes.
you, for roll it forward purposes, you do find her.
Oh,
She's on her last leg. She is dying. She's got claw marks all over her body, but they're little tiny claw marks.
Oh
But she's
my
covered
God.
in claw marks. And she tells you, it took the prince.
Oh my God. I try and staunch the wound. With I don't have any skills in field dressing or nothing like that. But I try and give her whatever. Dear
Okay.
wise woman. Yeah.
I think the consequences of failure here will be obvious that she dies. So, yeah, do your best. If you want to open up a skill like field dressing or something.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so she says it took the prince, and we're talking about the creature, right?
mm-hmm.
But we didn't see it. We saw it carrying a box.
That's right.
Well,
What the fuck?
When and how? How did it take the prince? What, Miss Wise Woman, please, before you go, to help me. Look, I have a gift. I have second sight. I learned it when I was young. I need some guidance. How do I improve as I'm, how do I How do I harness my power?
Let's see.
So, like, I actually don't want to roll field dressing. I just want to roll. So I'm rolling persuasion to try and persuade her to give me some tidbit or knowledge or magic or whatever to
Okay, I'm gonna say, you know, she's gonna be disposed to want to help you, so you're gonna get a bonus die for that.
Yeah.
But she has a super high will. She probably has a will of 6. So we're talking like an ob 5 to persuade her.
But what about her wound penalties?
Oh,
That's a good point.
nice.
Good point. So I'm gonna say ob 4.
All right.
Oh no,
Pers-
she's heavily wounded. Ob 3.
Ob 3. Okay. Can I fork in aura reading and
Yeah,
kind of like show her like
totally.
the glow in my third eye?
You can totally fork it in.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
If you make this, you may get some important info. This is a good thing.
All right. So
I thought you guys were just gonna run off the boat after this creature.
dude, I'm spending another persona point on this belief, okay?
Okay.
For this thing. And what was the obstacle now that she's all hurt? 5 less.
She's op 3.
If you give me if you can help me find your friend, what is the princeling? What is his aura like? Something of his that I can use to find him for you. Give it to me, and I will do this for you, and I'll be forever in your debt.
Roll away. The consequences of failure on this is that she dies.
Before she can help you. As opposed to after.
All right, so persuasion B2 +1 forking for aura reading, 1 persona point, so 4 dice.
No, you also got an advantage die from something, I thought.
Yeah, she's
Because she
supposed
wanted to help
to
you.
help you. Oh, but that
Oh,
lowered
I
the
did.
ob. I had
Yeah, that lowered the ob. Yeah. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Oh my god.
We've had a string of bad rolls.
You guys are rolling bad. Oh, so
Oh.
close.
Ah,
You know what though? I'm gonna say that she does die, but for you know, making the game go forward, as she dies, she whispers in your ear, "It put the prince in the box."
Mhm.
oh my god.
Okay. Lots of weird shit happening right now.
So I'm gonna grab. Is there anything around here that looks like that might belong to the prince? You know, with that initial
Well,
idea.
everything belongs to the prince. The whole
No, like clothing.
There'd be clothing, absolutely. He's a prince. He's gonna come with shitloads of clothes.
So I'll grab like
If you can find some of his dirty underwear, it'll sell well on Etsy.
yeah. So I'll grab I'll grab dirty britches.
You do it. So
Everybody's
let's
got their
go
thing.
to Eric now. You basically you're probably gonna have to fight. You run into a guards, and in order for you to get by, you're gonna have to just do a versus test. We don't have to take the time to do bloody versus. Just do a versus test with whatever your main weapon is and anything you want to fork in to get by.
Okay. I do not have a knife on me, but I do have claws and teeth.
Can I help with this? Because I've been kicked off the boat and I'm approaching this battle that Eric is
Absolutely.
that she's involved
If
with.
you
Okay,
want
great.
to combine together because you were stopped at the front anyway, you could do that.
Okay, great.
All right. So
Eric,
yeah, so I think since I'm feeling that sort of, even though I'm not cornered, I've got that cornered rat sort of thing. Gotta chew my way out. I think I'm gonna my rat nature is gonna take over a little bit, and I'll lunge, probably like a lunge with, with my teeth.
That totally makes sense, and I'm wondering how that works in the burning wheel because I've never done it. So I don't know if you automatically get like a bite. What do you guys think?
Well, it's a trait. There's and I took claws, but there's enlarged incisors, and it's a weapon, or it acts as a weapon.
Oh, is that a skill then? What's your bonus in that?
I think it's brawl. I think it's brawling.
Yep. It's
Okay,
wrong.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
So she-
it's on my sheet. I entered it in my sheet.
Is this fun? Do you have intimidation?
Yeah.
Okay. So is this fundamentally, Peter, about intimidation, that she's forking in brawling, but intimidating these guys into like stepping back and giving her some space?
Fair enough.
I don't know. I mean, Peter, right? I mean, like you're putting me right in the middle of this fray, right? Like it's I'm not like posturing. I'm like, this is actually,
Yeah, it's actually fighting.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
So it's a bloody versus
I
unfighting.
would say that you can use intimidate. If you're in a boxing match, I've seen many boxing opponents intimidated by, their
Mhm.
opponent. I've seen that happen, especially
Well, so-
like Tyson, back in his early days. There was a lot of opponents who were intimidated by him.
because he bit someone's ear off. So, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're threatening to do.
That's what I'm ready to do, man.
So
Yeah, I
roll
mean, and
whichever
also
one you want to roll. I
if
mean,
we
what-
see somebody like lunging at you with
on
like
your opponent.
sharp teeth.
You're gonna do a
All right,
Mike
cool.
Tyson on him. All
All
right.
right. So as you're doing that,
top four.
Frida is coming into the, now these people have swords out, is that right? They have real
Oh,
weapons
yeah.
out. They're not just fighting with knives. So she's
Yeah.
got her sword out and she's trying to clear a path. Hey,
Okay.
get
Top four.
stand back
Eric,
from my
and
little friend.
If you make this, then you will. I'm sure this is what you want to do. You want to just get past them. But the consequences of failure will be that you will each have another guard on you. You're just going to get deeper into the fight, and we're going to go to bloody verses.
Got it. Okay. Stand back from my little friend. There we go.
All right, here we go. So we've got a help from
Frida?
Frida and my fork. So that's 2. Artha dice. Oh wait, I used a persona point last time, right? For my other thing. Okay, just gotta make sure I put that down. All right, here we go. I'm rolling. Okay, base obstacle you said is 4. It's 4.
Yeah.
Shit. What the fuck, man?
Is that 5 dice and 1 success? Man,
Wow. You guys.
we've had a series of terrible rolls.
All right,
Yeah.
so here's the consequence, and Sans, you can be a part of this. There's
Yeah.
a fight going on at the end of the docks, and you see they were trying to get by. Frida and Nico were trying to get by, but they sort of been surrounded now, and they
Yeah.
are heavy into the fight. Are you going to charge in and help them, or what?
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. So I come in like from right behind with my knife drawn, looking for an advantage, like somebody that I could stealth up to and stab.
All right.
Nice.
Well, let me ask you guys: do you want to do the bloody versus or the fight rules right now?
Not fight rules.
Okay.
This feels like a bloody versus. I don't think
Yeah.
this isn't a plot turn. This is a scuffle.
Yeah,
Fair
it's,
enough.
it's just a.
Why don't we
just an
take
obstacle.
like a 10-minute break, go to the
Yeah.
bathroom, that kind of thing, and then we'll come back and jump right into it.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Well, this has been a lot of fun so far, Eric.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We're really shit in the bed.
Yeah. You know, we just rolled a whole series of really bad rolls. I'm really happy with how Peter is rolling things, that he's running things. He's really fail forward, positive. The people I play with out here, very rule centric people, and are not always very good at giving consequences that for them, if you fail, it's hard for them not to create a consequence that doesn't feel a little bit like a failure. And here, there have been a bunch of cases where, for story reasons, it's important that we know where the bad guy is gone. So, you totally failed really poorly. But Peter's like, okay, you're surrounded by a bunch of guys, but you do see where the creature's gone in. It's a door just down the street. So that gives us a way to move the story forward.
And what's great about that too, like from a game standpoint too, is that we like, so there's an obstacle, I get caught in this fight,
right.
And I didn't catch up to the person, but like, if he didn't tell me that it went into a building, or like the building that it went into, then once I get out of the fight, then we've got to like look around for that. That's not that interesting.
No,
that's
right.
That just takes, just puts shit in our way.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
I couldn't agree more. Eric and I were just saying how much we liked your way of handling failure in this game. You've been very generous with fail forward conditions that keep the game moving. So when you sent that guy into the building, we know where he is. We may be trapped in a fight, but it's not like the story is over once we get out of this fight.
That's why the burning wheel blows away just about every other gaming system. You don't just.
Well, it's partly the way you're running it, right? I've played with people who have a hard time giving you fail forward conditions, and we frequently would end up with situations where, okay, not only do we have to now get ourselves out of this fight, but then we have to kind of start over from square one, and figure out where the creature is. And the problem with that, actually, I think, is not just that it slows the game down. It also leads to a story that feels pathetic. In this, it's a supposedly heroic story in which the heroes are so incompetent that they can't even make forward progress on any of the things they want to do, which doesn't feel even meaningful. It just feels like a weird parody or satire of the possibility of heroism.
Yeah. You're Fafford and the Grey Mousers, bad children who came off the short
exactly.
bus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're the nepo babies of Fafford and Grey Mousers. Can't even.
But wow, I'm loving it so far. It's been super engaging.
I love your little creature, the demon creature. The way, I know it's probably a demon, but you described it in a way that doesn't feel standard demonic. I'm imagining, like, for some reason, I thought of an alligator standing on its hind feet early on because of the stubby legs and the tail, but then the way that the little arms just sort of come out of its body, that's something really grotesque about that. And I had a thought, well, like, I knew he was a Prince Ling, but I didn't realize he was a little prince. And then she's in the box.
There's no way a human could fit in that box.
No, exactly.
Know that.
I wanted to make a joke about the little prince, but we were moving forward, so I didn't say anything. A little prince. Yeah, it's been great. Really enjoying this. I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
everybody else is
good job.
Slow things down. I can hear you though if you guys come in. Are you guys making a lot of noise, dog? Dog making a lot of noise. There are contests going on. With dogs.
I drank this weird drink last night. It's like the Argentinian version of Jägermeister.
Whoa.
I know, they drink it in Coke. I always hated Jägermeister, but this wasn't as bad.
So it was kind of like syrupy, like kind of dark
Exactly.
kind of flavors.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
In a mixed drink. Super interesting. It was cool. I was at this, my friends got me into this convention for free. It was like a Back to the Future thing. So it was super nerdy. There were all these people walking around with Back to the Future shirts and stuff.
That's cool.
They had a DeLorean there, and
Nice.
and a couple of bands. That was great.
So I opened climbing. And what do I log for that?
Wait, so
Here's the thing. If you made more than a routine test, then it'll go against your speed and not your climbing. So
he was almost certainly routine because it was he rolled a 1. It was against a 1 ob. So yeah,
so I see it. Everybody did routine. So you would mark a test. So when you see the skill, there should be a number of empty pips. Just
Yep.
make sure to block one out.
Yeah, you see where it says aptitude under being learned?
Yep. Yeah,
So-
and there's a 7 next to it.
That means
And
you
once
need
you
seven
get 7,
tests.
you open the skill and you now have it as a normal skill.
Cool.
Right. Exactly. And
But
the
the
7 is
great thing
calculated
about
based on
opening
your
up skills is that if you do harder than a routine test, it'll go against your speed. So you can eventually make your speed faster through opening skills.
That's cool and strange.
and you actually need a higher speed because your speed is low.
Yeah, I'm not as fast as I sort of think I am.
Right. I keep thinking you've got a higher speed. You've got a speed of 3. You're even slower than Frida, actually.
He's the fat rat.
I think it's the stubby legs, actually. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of you.
I wonder how to change this. I'm in like dark mode. There we go.
Oh yeah, it's a weird thing. The dark mode doesn't work as well. They've done something with the styling in the new style that the dark mode, there's certain things that are impossible to see.
It's horrible.
So yeah, in fact, actually, if you manage to bump up your speed while you're still learning climbing, the aptitude, which is the number, the 7 that you're rolling, that you need to get 7 tests, that'll actually go down. So the aptitude is based on your 10 minus the skill you're rolling. So because not skill, but the stat you're rolling. So because you have a 3 speed, you need 7 tests. If you had a 4 speed, you'd only need 6 tests.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's only routine tests that help against the help to learn the skill.
Routine help for the skill, they mark under aptitude, and then difficult or challenging tests mark on the stat.
Okay.
And they help in learn and boosting the stat. So actually, all these falsehood tests I've been making, I've now made 2 tests to learning falsehood. Neither has been routine, but I'm hopefully going to bring up my will, which is my low skill. I have a 3 will, which is just the worst. So I've now, I think, got 2 difficult will tests.
Great.
And if I can get 1 challenging will test, so that means I need to lie to somebody with a really high will. I need to find
that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I've been going up against these mooks so far, but if I can find someone who's really a smarty, I can get that final will test and have a decent will. And a 4 will is playable. 3 will is not great. Starting characters are very much starting characters in Burning Wheel. It's one of the things I like.
It's not really going to be too hard to raise my speed, actually.
No.
If I just kind of try to go in on my own without you guys helping me against things that I can't catch, it'll be great.
You can also, oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. You'd also earn speed tests if you were helping us with a speed test. So when I think we all made a speed test, didn't we, at some point just a little bit ago, besides the climbing one?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, you definitely
another
did.
thing
You raced that. Oh, I remember. You made 2 speed tests today. You made one as a part of a climbing test and a second one to try to chase that creature. So what did you get? Did you get a challenging and a difficult, or 2 difficult?
Well, one was to open the skill. So that, and it was a routine, so it didn't go to speed, right? Is that right?
True. Right. Well, so yeah, that's right. Because it was a one ob which doubled to two, and so a two was routine, and so therefore it logged. So you have one speed test, one real speed test, and one test toward learning climbing.
Yep. Now, we don't log tests for helping, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you do.
helpers
Just
also
in
learn.
general. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Helpers also learn. This is really important, and it's a big difference from the games you're used to.
Eric,
Shit.
you did a challenging speed test. I only see you have one difficult mark. You should mark a challenging as well.
Oh,
Oh.
the challenging is from chasing after the creature. Remember, that was a really high ob.
Right, but then so it's not a difficult one.
Oh, right, he did one, so it's a challenging. Yeah, I see under your role, speed challenging.
Okay.
Yeah, and I haven't logged any of my tests so far. I'm just writing them down in my notes, and I'll
Now,
log
if
them
you
at
make
the
two
end.
more difficult speed tests, you'll saddle go up, which is great.
Exactly.
Yep.
But yeah, helpers also learn. So let me tell you all about all the times we've helped so far.
I knew I could rely on you for this, Chuck.
Okay. So we had a high ob on stealthy early on. So we had an ob of 5 and you helped me. So that's probably a challenging stealthy test. I don't know what your stealthy is, but against an ob 5, it's probably challenging.
It's 1.
Okay, there you go. Then mark a challenging.
So helpers get the
test.
same skill.
Well, so it's weird. So I'm going to be logging, including all my help. So I am logging a test with 6 dice of stealth ob 5. My natural stealth is 3, but I count all of your help toward my total dice and compare that to the ob. So I had 6 dice on 5, so that's probably routine. Whereas for you, you've got a 1 skill, and you're going to go against the ob all by yourself for your helping test. So you're going to get a challenging test. So that's you get the same ob, but you only it's your whatever your stat your skill is against that ob.
That seems crazy to me because I'm not like rolling. I'm just like,
it's just the way this game works. It's more generous with tests.
You suffer in the consequences of failure when you help.
Right.
That's right.
So that you do get a test. And usually
that's amazing.
great. It's high test. So
yeah,
make sure every time you help to record those tests.
Yeah,
help is amazing. Help is amazing mechanic.
In Torchbearer, you don't log tests on help. One of the differences
unless
is
you can use a I think you can use a fate or persona point.
Yeah, exactly. But here you routinely do it. But Peter's right that because of the way that the experience system works here, you need a certain number of difficult, a certain number of challenging tests, or a certain number of routine and difficult and challenging. And you get the difficult and challenging tests when you help, and you get the routine tests when you get enough help to be able to roll a routine.
That's cool.
So
okay, so so I helped on stealthy.
Yeah, so you helped on stealthy. You did an intimidate all by yourself, and I helped you. And then Vina rolled perception, and I helped. I think you may have helped with the perception test.
I think I did.
But it was a failure, so nobody gets we don't log that test because you never log perception unless it's successful. So that doesn't count. I did a seamanship test without anybody's help. You did a climb all by yourself. We did we all jumped to tackle the creature once we got on the boat, and we all helped Vina. So you should mark an additional speed test versus ob 5 when we all tried to tackle the creature just after getting on the boat.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention something about your B3 speed. It looks like because that's a very low speed for the kind of character I think you tried to build. Like you tried to build and you put 6 agility, but sacrificed at one point. You could have made 5 agility, and did you, is it because you didn't realize what speed would, how it works with stealthy and how it works with just being quick and moving
I think
around?
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
He'll,
I
he'll,
mean, it could
He'll
be
be
too
higher
late to
soon.
change.
It will be
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
super soon, Sanj. He's getting a bunch of tests right here. So you should
Yeah.
mark your speed is 3, and that's against a, what was it? Okay, the creature itself was a 5. So I think mark a difficult test for speed as well as the challenging test that we talked about earlier.
All
Yep.
you need is one more difficult and you're
One more
gonna
difficult
come
and
up
you're
to
good.
B4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sick.
So okay, so we all helped with that. Let me see if there's any other helping tests. Okay, Venus tried to circles test. We weren't there for that. And then you were surrounded and you tried to bite, and I helped you intimidate. So we made an intimidate check together. Was that an ob 4 on that intimidate? Oh no, sorry, it was a brawling
Just
test.
brawl. Yeah.
Brawl, not intimidate. Got it. And it was an ob 4. Got it. Okay.
And then what about our previous session? Do you have notes for that?
Yeah, I will go over them. Let's go ahead and get started again. But
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll do it later. Okay, cool. Sorry.
All right. So now we're into fight.
We are in bloody verses, and there are going to be one opponent against each of you, so 3 on 3. And what we're going to need to do is we'll just do this one at a time. I guess Eric, you want to go first?
Sure.
So what we will do is you have to put a number of your dice towards attack and a number of your dice towards defense. Now, the defense dice will cancel out some or more of their successes, and that means that you'll be less likely to get injured. And in the bloody verses, if you do more hits than your opponent, you automatically win. If it's equal, then we roll to another round of bloody verses. But if you do more hits than your opponent, you automatically win, and the bloody verses are over for you.
Okay. Let me just read off the advantages so you can know if you've got any of these. You probably do not have the longer weapon.
Nope.
And it says you can get an advantage from having the shorter weapon. That would require you to have gotten inside their guard, and I don't think that's happened either. Do you have a weapon that gives you a VA? Does your weapon have a versus armor?
No.
Okay, so you don't have any of those things. Do you have a shield? Nope. Do you have leather or light mail?
Nope.
Okay, so you do not have advantages. And then there's the last two things is, do you have higher reflexes than them? What's your reflexes?
My reflexes are, where is that? Where the hell is reflexes?
Reflexes
be a
is
stat.
I
just
believe
below
it's on the
the-
left-hand side of the top of the sheet.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
stat.
going from memory here. It's below your stats.
Oh, below your stats. It's an attribute.
Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah, it's not in that block there. 4.
Okay, so you may or may not have. Is that a higher reflexes or the same reflexes?
Same,
Peter?
probably.
Probably the same.
Give me a
You don't have a
luck roll here. If you roll 1, 2, or 3, you are fighting one of the armed guards. And if you roll 4, 5, or 6, you are fighting one of the Thieves Guild members.
Is luck on here somewhere?
just to roll a d6.
Yeah, you want to be lucky because the Thieves Guild members are going to be way easier to fight than the other guys.
Right. Okay, so how do I forward slash
R space
Forward.
1d6.
Nice.
Cool. All right. 3.
Nice.
All right, you are fighting one of the
Oh,
heavily armed
shit.
people that you saw at the
Okay, that sucks. All right, and does he have higher reflexes? Probably not. Does he have what's your stride?
My stride is 8.
Oh, I think he has longer stride.
All right, so these guys have swords, shields, and they're wearing armor, and they're
Sure.
going to be 4 in sword.
Okay. So that's 4 plus sword is 5 because it's a longer weapon, plus armor is 2 more. So we're now at 7. Do they also have a shield, you said?
Yes.
That's 8. So that's 8 dice. And what's your brawling over there, Eric?
3.
Great. So you've got 3 plus 1 because I think you have a longer stride. So you've got 4.
So these
Okay.
guys are going to put 4 into attack and 4 into defense.
And you could decide to put 4 into defense and nothing into attack. If you
That's what I
wanted
was
to.
thinking. That's what I was thinking. I know that because I don't even have a knife. Like I'm just like bare toothed. So yeah, I'm gonna put it all in defense.
Roll your defense first, and then I'll roll my attack.
All right. So
You
how
can
do we
just
do?
roll /R 4d6.
Okay. /R 4d6.
So you got
2
2
successes.
successes, and I'm going to roll their attacks.
Do we help each other in Bloody Versus?
We would,
Wow,
but
you
at the
know
moment
what, dude?
we're all fighting
I'm gonna
separately.
re-roll
You win.
6, but you may have won. Let's see. Well, you didn't hit them though. That's the problem. So
But he
we're
doesn't hit them.
still
He's
the
just
next
playing
round,
for
but
time. He's playing for time.
You did not get injured. Good for
Okay,
you.
so Nico
Yep.
rolls.
I
So
could
she had
only
brawling.
imagine what that was like. The clashing of swords, the ducking of the rat. You
Because I sort of ran headlong into it, and there's like swords swinging around, and I square off against the guy, and I'm just trying to be as
unbelievable
as possible.
Man. That was incredible. You were just like bobbing and weaving like a boxer. It was amazing.
So
you
if you
can
want
see
to,
the frustration on this guy's face. All
if you
right,
want to,
so
you can log a routine test right now, Eric, because that was effectively an OB1 that you just beat.
Okay,
nice job.
You got through with your brawling.
But she's still in the combat, but she hasn't been hurt yet. She didn't put anything to attack because I think you're going to start by rolling a luck roll to see whether you're squaring off against the Thieves Guild guy or a well-armored guy.
Frida, you first.
Okay, great. I am going to roll a luck die to see who I'm squaring off against. Here's my D6. I'm squaring off against the lightly armored guy because I'm lucky, I guess.
Yeah, this guy has no shield, no armor, and he just has a falchion.
I love falchions. And it's so cool that you have falchions.
Is it a little shield, or what's a falchion? A sword?
It's like a curved single-edged sword.
Yeah, it's like a wide blade at the end, but it's curved. It's very Middle Eastern.
And
rolls. Okay, so Frida has is the falchion the same length as her longsword, or is it the shorter weapon? Does Frida have a longer weapon or the same length?
Oh, I would say
Probably
it's
the same.
longer. I would say it's longer.
Okay. So I have a longer weapon, that's +1 die. I have a shield, that's another die. Although that's a defensive die. Oh, my sword does not have versus armor, so there's no extra bonus. So I have a shield. I have reinforced leather, so that's 2 more dice. And do I have higher reflexes? What's this guy's reflexes? Mine are 4, probably about the same.
Yeah, it'll be the same. And he's gonna put I don't know, he's gonna be a little crazy here. I think he's gonna put 2 into offense and 1 into defense. So roll your offense.
Okay, great. Let me just make sure I've got my die pool available here. I have 3 defensive dice and 1 offensive dice right now. By definition, those are dice that can't be moved. I have the same stride, the same reflexes. I'm rolling sword, forking, and brawling, which gives me 5 dice that I can put wherever I want. So I am also going to be a little crazy because I'm an attacky guy or girl. So I'm going to put 5 dice into the offense and 4 dice into defense.
Okay,
Here we go. So
roll your
here's my.
attacking dice first.
All right, I'm just going to roll them this way because it's easier. 5d6 attack.
So you
That was
got,
terrible. Oh, I got 3. Not
you want
terrible.
to
Three
explode that
successes.
6?
I think I can wait until I see what you roll.
I don't think you can.
Oh, I didn't realize. Uh,
I'm not 100%.
he's only got 1. I think you said he's got 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm gonna save my fate.
Okay, here we go. Shit.
Oh, okay.
You just destroy this dude. You grab his hand so he can't even swing, and you actually pull down in his body and you elbow his face. You actually yank him into your elbow, and then you clobber him with the pommel of your axe, and he falls off the dock into the water.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Was that his defense or his attack?
That was his attack.
Got it. Okay. We should roll his defense so I know what my ob was.
So he was putting 1 into defense. He only had 3.
1 into
The
defense.
thief, man. Ooh.
All right. Ob 1. That's good because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten a test. All right. Okay, so he's knocked into the water.
Nice.
Yeah, he's out of it.
Okay, that frees me up to help out once we get past this first round of Bloody Versus. Sanj.
All
right.
Anj.
So I come in like this fight is sort of happening, and I feel like I'm coming in from behind, and I want to do a backstab. I want to be like a D like a like a thief, right?
Do a link test. That's how I'm gonna do this. Give me a stealth check. I think this is gonna be difficult because everybody's on the dock pretty aware because they're all fighting. I'm gonna say that this is ob 4.
Can she get a circumstance bonus because it's dark and the guy's distracted by a fight?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
No.
They're all paying attention.
They are totally. I hear you.
I can't see it. I think it's 4.
They don't want to be. They basically don't want to be hit in the back. It's not surprising.
Right. So I have nothing to fork. Inconspicuous. You can't do that. Knives, no. So I only have a B2 stealthy.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. Submit. No, Artha. Submit. Base ob. 4.
Wow.
All right.
This is going to be a character defining.
No. No,
Not
man.
No 6s even. Yeah, I think it's too difficult to sneak up on them because they're all aware. They're all
right. Okay, no worries. So anyway, I come in and I have knives of B2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to split him up 1 on each side, but let me roll that D6 to see if luckily this is not a heavily armored dude.
Yeah, hopefully you get a thief.
/R.
Yeah.
1
Space 1d6.
6.
There's also a die roller, but
Oh God.
Not good.
My God. Okay, I am pretty much going to get a bad hit here. All right.
So you should get 1 die extra because I'm sure you have higher reflexes. You have reflexes of 5, and that's got to count for something.
Yeah. I have. Okay.
And what's your stride? Do you have that big stride, or is that
No, I don't.
Okay. So take a 1 die at least.
So I'm going to roll my defense first. Okay.
You're putting 2 in defense and 1 in attack.
Yeah. So /R 2d6 for defense.
Make sure there's a space in between the R and the 2d6.
Yeah. Got it. Oh, 1 6. I'm gonna open up that thing with fate.
Probably a good idea.
Oh,
Oh,
all right. Let me just mark that off.
wow.
So roll his attack. I just want to see how bad my injury is. I'm like gonna get it bad.
He's only got one hit. Let me re-roll it. 6. Failed. He's only got one hit.
All right,
Nice.
misses you.
Defense, so you didn't get hurt. Roll your attack. If you roll a
Dang.
positive number on your attack, you win.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
That guy
go.
went
I have
all
to roll
attack.
his defenses, actually. Let me
That guy
roll his
went.
defenses.
Oh, so he didn't roll all attack. He has something in
He
defense.
didn't. Yeah, no, these guys are the armed fighters are powerful.
Oh, the armed guys. Yeah, boy, those guys are the hard ones.
He got 2 successes, so you need 3 successes to win.
Yeah, so that's not gonna happen. Boom. No successes. So we're kind of tied.
Yeah, we go
neither
into
of
the
us got
next
hurt.
round. You and Eric have to keep fighting, and Frida can help one of you.
Okay. My thinking here is that Frida's going to help her little friend, who is completely surrounded. At least Vina is on the outside of the battle, has not been surrounded by people. So
Yeah.
wading toward and trying to giving a help or die to Nico.
All right, Eric, it's your turn. Let's hope. Will Nico survive?
Survive. Okay, so the guy okay, so I went all defense, right? And he attacked. How many dice did he put into attack? I
4.
think it was 4.
These
now
guys
do
are
I know-
powerful. They are putting 4 dice into attack and 4 dice into defense.
Wow, okay.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of all their bonuses. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So is there a way I can even win?
Oh, can I ask a quick question? Is it possible for Frida to roll intimidate to bring the guy onto her and force him to fight her, and then she can be the one who's rolling the bloody versus because she has much better. She's much better
Yeah,
suited to this.
task and intent, man. Welcome to Burning
Okay.
Wheel. We can do anything in this game. If you
Great.
roll me a good enough intimidate, I will say that, and I'm gonna say, let's see. I'm gonna say it's Ob 4. This guy is a sophisticated fighter. But
And she knows that he knows the softer target is right in front of him. I understand.
Right.
Yeah. On the other hand, I've got a big old sword, and
you do
Go
look
ahead.
intimidating.
yeah, and you know, if you don't turn around and face me, I'm gonna
I'm
have
also gonna say
hurt
Eric
you.
can help you in this.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. All right. So I'm rolling
But how do you
intimidating.
want to help, Eric? How do you imagine helping getting this guy? What skill would you use?
I think well, how do I picture it? I don't think it would be intimidating. I think I'm trying to somehow like
You have inconspicuous?
I have inconspicuous. But like I'm trying to figure out how to get his attention off of me and onto you. I could maybe sort of like, you know, look at you, see you coming and look like I'm cowering, you know, like I'm like afraid of you, like you know, oh no, like what is, you know.
I would say that would be inconspicuous. You could help with inconspicuous.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. So I mean, rolling intimidate. I think I can fork brawling into intimidate. Is that a fair description?
I think you
since we're
can
brawling
too,
away?
for sure. You're about to get in a brawl with the guy. You can set up like in a stance, like you're about to hack him.
Right. Oh, and or sword, one of those two. Got it. So I've got one help, one fork, and I'm going up against a 4 dice, which is pretty tough, or 4 obs. So that's pretty tough. Here we go. This feels important. I want to save my friend. I'm
going to say the consequences of failure might be that another thief joins the fight.
Got it. Okay, I'm spending an Artha. I think this is important. I want I want to save I must save my little friend. So this is my moment. I'm spending this on Nico. Here we go. And the base ob is 4. Here we go. Ah,
Oh, nice. Good job. That was incredible.
Cool. Yeah, like I see Frida coming, and like I I
Nice.
do this sort of like big thing, like, oh, like, and I kind of like, sort of stumble back. I got to picture Nico like a lot of sort of physical, almost like a physical comedy sort of person, um, just sort of like, oh my God, like she's gonna attack me, confusing this guy, like, wait, who are these people? What's going on? So yeah, so like, I kind of take myself out of the situation, and then bam, Frida's right up in there.
Yeah, when Frida runs up to this guy, you hear him yell out, "Whoa!" And he shifts his shield and sword so he can combat her.
yeah, and she got her shield up as well. Little man, you get off my little friend. Pick on someone your own size. All right.
All right,
Um,
Stange, we will jump to you.
Um, I'm gonna try and find out some information from him. As we're like, like circling each other with our knives. But I'm
nice.
like, so who sent you? Where are you guys from? What are you doing here trying to hone in on this mark? What's going on here?
Nice, the exposition standoff of a movie.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not the Thieves Guild. Who are you guys? That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. This is totally strange. What do you know? What is going on? Who is this this creature that?
Ob 4
Huh? All
You're
right.
fighting against the heavily armed soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I don't have a great persuasion. I'm gonna fork in law-wise. You guys don't look like you're from the constabulary. You're way too, skilled for that. Yeah. And then I don't know. I'm not gonna do 4 6 seduction. It doesn't. Okay. So fork in one.
Let's see. What are the consequences of failure? I don't think they're gonna be heavy here. I just think he's not gonna respond to you.
Yeah. So base up 4, right?
Yeah.
Right. Ugh, 0 successes.
Zero.
He charges me. Okay. I'm going defense. Trying to stay alive for a little bit longer while these guys duke it out. 2D in defense.
All right, you roll your defense and I'll roll this guy's offense.
2d6. 2 successes. And I'm going to open that 6. Three successes on defense.
Nice. Wow. All
Yes.
failures. Now you didn't put anything into attack, right?
I'm going to now. I'm going to now.
Because if you get 1 success, you win.
I know. But he's got so much in defense, I'm sure, right? So yeah, fail.
Okay. All right, we will go to I'm gonna say now that Nico is out of the fight. You are standing behind Frida. You're welcome to help her though. And Frida is going.
All right, here we go. So I'm trying to, this is one of these heavily armed people. And I actually, I think Frida has heard the smart questions that Vina asked this guy. And she also wants to get some information. But she is going to, as she fights this person, is going to be, we are sending you back where you came from. Tell us where you came from so we know
where that is.
So we can send a messenger with your dead parts. And I don't know if that's worth an intimidation roll, but it's I'm going to go ahead and roll my attack. So bloody versus, we have equal weapons, I believe. We have she has a shield, a gambit. Sorry, she has a shield. She has reinforced leather armor, and she has the same reflexes, probably the same stride. So one die for attack, 2 dice for that are by definition, and now 4 more dice. Oh, 5 with brawling that she can assign. She's going to put 3 in attack and 5. Sorry, 5 in attack and 3 in defense. She's being a little
Amazing.
overconfident.
Amazing. Good for you.
Can I?
She's making bad choices here. We're just waiting for her luck to run out, and then it'll hurt. Here we go. So,
well, can I? Do you want me to help? Because I think
I'd love some help. What do you want to help? You want to help my defense, or how do you want to help?
Well, I think I want to distract the guy that you're fighting. I want to kind of like, because I'm behind you, and then I sort of want to appear like I'm gonna like dart out, and I'm in the middle of a bunch of people, and that makes me really anxious. So I think my more rat qualities kind of come out in those situations. So I think I'm gonna sort of kind of dart out and sort of like hiss, because I've got these scary teeth. You know, I think I'm gonna sort of come out and hiss like a cornered rat.
Yeah, fair enough.
To distract them, you know, just enough, you know, to let you kind of come and clobber him in. So
Right.
I don't, you know, where that would help you, but
I'm going to put an extra die in defense because I think I was being stupid earlier. So I now have 5 dice in attack and 4 dice in defense.
Go ahead and roll
all right.
your attack, and I'll
Okay, here we
roll
go.
the guy's defense.
That was 3 successes in the attack.
Are you gonna explode that 6?
Yes. No effect. Let me keep track of the fate because I just spent a fate. All right.
So here is I'll roll the defense first.
Okay.
2, 2d6. 3 success, and you got 3 success. So
These guys have a lot of fate.
And
I
then
goes.
I'll roll his offense.
Sounds good. And I got 4 dice of defense.
Got a nice pile of dice there, Chuck.
So he got
Yeah.
3 successes. I'm
not
gonna
good.
say he's out of fate at this point.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you got 3 successes.
3. Amazing.
All right. I don't need to spend because it's just a defense. Yeah, got it. All right.
Boom, boom.
So evenly
So-
matched.
Back to Vina. Oh, by the way, when this guy as you know, when you get into this brawl with him, he kind of spits in your face and he says, "Die, Northerner."
oh man, we're getting racial here.
Where is this
All
guy?
right, Vina.
He's one.
Sisters, what do you think? What are our odds here? Should we run?
We can drive them off. We can send them back to their lairs. So what kind of accent does this guy have? Can any of us recognize what his accent is so we can correctly insult him?
I would say that we might need to make a test after the battle on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think Frida's the right person for recognizing that accent anyway. All right.
My luck is running thin, my friends.
So are you're still engaged, is that right?
Yeah, luckily, but we've been kind of dancing and I've been saving myself, but those 4 dice in attack against my 2 defense could actually land me with a mark hit.
Got it.
Like if he gets a B.
I'm just not sure why we're still fighting these guys. I mean, why do they, what are they fighting for? The
why do
party has
they
got
care?
in the way.
I want to run. Can we just run away, please?
You could, if you wanted to, just dive off the docks into the water.
Mm. Mm.
Choices.
All right.
It would wipe the poison off your blade, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think you would automatically get away unless this guy wanted to dive in the water and chase after you, which is unlikely.
In his armor. I don't think he
Yeah,
wants to get all rusty. Or
Yeah.
probably in leather, but yeah. So
Friend,
why don't you dive and I will try to force my guy off. And I'm gonna, why are we even fighting here? Why don't we get a beer together?
right.
Let's settle this over beers.
So
I
what
bet
do
I
you
can
want to
drink you
do?
under the table.
Vina, do you want to dive into
Vina,
the water?
Vina is running away. Vina is gonna jump into the water and run away.
Okay, you don't have to roll. You just do it.
Yeah,
The
thank
fun.
you.
All right. And as we are fighting, I'm going to say that to him, just an appeal to common sense. What are we even fighting for? The quarry has gotten away, and there's nothing left to win here. Let's go have a beer together. Settle it over.
Nice.
He'll spit in your face and say, "Get off of our lands, Northerner."
Wow.
Whoa.
Come on.
This dock is your land? Are you the prince of this dock? Very well, I will depart the dock.
I think we need to roll again.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. I attempted. Okay, here we go. So I'd like to get rid of this guy. I can count on your help again. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and roll 5 dice on attack and 4 dice in defense again, just like I did last time.
Okay,
Yeah, and
so
this
you
time, since
roll
I'm-
your attack, I'll roll my defense.
And since I kind of did my hiss thing already, I think I'm going to sort of just do sort of like a kind of a run around.
Yeah, make
You
him
know,
worry
just sort
about
of-
being attacked from behind. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Huh. 2 successes. 3
Only
success-
one success.
Nice.
So I scored a success
Yeah.
You scored.
on this guy.
So let's see. Now we have to do the other way. So he's going to roll his offense to see
All right.
if he gets more hits than you. Here's his offense.
Okay.
So he's
Here's
got
my
3
defense.
successes.
Wow. Okay. I've got some defenses here. Hopefully enough.
Uh-oh.
1
You're-
success.
Only
Not good.
2. So he's 2 over.
He's 2 over, man.
Yeah.
So we're
this
both
guy
going to
is-
take a wound here.
This,
And
this
it's
guy
just
is
how bad the
beating
wound
you,
is.
my friend, and you do take a wound.
Yeah, I do take a wound. All right. So how do
I think in
wounds
the
work in
bloody
versus?
verses, isn't it? I think he just wins the fight.
Yeah.
No,
He scored
that's
more
a
hits
regular.
than you. I think he wins the fight. So he like
You-
hits you and shoves you into the water.
I think in a bloody versus you calculate proper wounds. Like he's got Frida has 2 successes over the defense of, like, she's got a 5, 4, and a 4, so that's 3 successes over a defense of 1
Oh, yeah.
success.
I'm seeing here now that what we were messing up there is we should have gone to the neither side hits rule, but we didn't do that. Fine. So both sides hit. A desperate battle leads to both sides being wounded. Apply a wound result as per weapon rules. Make steel tests as appropriate. If one side hesitates, he's out of the fight, captured or run off. If both steel tests are passed, the side with the most attack successes decides what happens next. Another round of fighting, preferably with a different skill. A fort test to outlast your opponent. A power test versus test to subdue the opponent, or a speed versus test to escape. So here we go. Now I could decide that this is worth spending fate in the hope of tying it up, but I don't think I care that much. So, I mean, I've been wounded, so there we are. So let's apply our wound results as per weapon rules. So I have a wound. He's got a wound. My wound, I guess we probably have the same swords. Is that right?
Yeah. This guy has a
Okay.
long sword.
I have a long sword. Okay. So my
Oh, that's cool.
my incidental, I think we're doing incidentals here. My incidental is a 4, a B4 wound. And I imagine his is similar. Is that right? He probably has a similar
Yeah.
power to mine. I have a pretty high power, but he might have the same power.
He probably has a lower power than you. You have 5.
Okay, so I do have a power of, look, Power of 5. Yeah. So he may have.
So he's got a
if he
power
has
of 4.
He's not a power
Yes.
4. Okay. So he does a wound of 3, and I a B3 wound, and I do a B4 wound. Probably about the same
Both
results.
of them same, yeah.
So both for a B3 for me is going to be a superficial wound. So I take a superficial. He's also got a superficial. So we've both got an obstacle penalty. We make a steel test because of the wound. Is that right?
Not on an incidental, no.
Not on not on a superficial.
Not on a
So-
superficial, just a mark.
Got it. Okay, so we don't need to make steel tests. The most attack successes decides what happens next. Another round of fighting. This guy. He gets to decide, preferably with a different skill, because they want us to not be rolling bloody versus forever. A fort test to outlast the opponent. A power test. A fort versus test to outlast. A power versus test to subdue. Or a speed versus test to escape. So maybe we both drop our weapons and we're brawling together. Option A.
Let's do
Option
a power
B.
test.
Power test. Got it.
Yeah, I think this narratively for my situation with the standoff, no hits, it works because it would have been a speed versus test, and we could say like I just succeeded,
Right.
That's good.
All
All
right.
right, so
So
Now
I'm
you're-
running power versus
Yeah.
this guy's power. We're have we and we're not. Yeah. Okay. Got it. So this is the description that they gave to this was to subdue the opponent. We're both trying to beat the other guy down to be able to take them captive, presumably. Here we go.
cool. Peter, why don't you roll first so that he can log it if it's a success? Well,
2
okay.
successes.
2
Right.
successes. Okay. Here we go.
So you
5 dice. And I don't think I have any help, or can I get
There's
help from Eric on this?
What's the scenario?
We're
He's
this
trying
guy
to
where it's the final
grapple.
struggle and we're grappling with each other. We're trying to subdue each other. So maybe you're able to hit him over the head with something, the dirt palpable of your hammer, of your dagger.
Maybe I don't have one. Let me kind of get around him and go for like a spot, maybe like the back of his leg that doesn't have like a garrote. No, I don't have any. I don't have that though. Oh, I wish that's next. Maybe I'll just kind of go in and like bite the back of his leg.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can do
You
that.
will-
So you can
Okay.
have.
So power test. This is 5 dice plus 1 help die. Here we go. So you're going to want to log a power test against an ob of 2, which is probably routine, in which case you don't get to log it, but just letting you know, Eric.
Yep.
You said it was ob 2. Here we go.
Yay!
right.
Nice. What do you want to do with this guy? Shove him,
Oh, and
shove him into the water?
This is a
Uh,
thieves guild dude.
No, it's one of the other guys.
Oh. Yeah, and
Well,
everybody
I've
else
sub-
is scattered, kind of, Peter, in the scenario, like in the battle. Like this
There,
is everybody.
most
kind
of the people are on the ship and fighting the guards, and they seem to be beating the guards.
Got it. All right. Well, so we could take this guy captive. I suppose pull him up with your help, Nico. We could bring him up to one of the warehouses and try to get some information for him, or just leave him. I'm not big. I'm not a torture guy, so just letting you know, my inclination is just to leave him unless we want to take him and go drinking with him.
My mind is like finding that fucking weird, multi-armed otter person.
Yeah.
So I
In
think
that
I don't
building.
know about. I don't know about your having seen it. So I think what I say
right.
to the guy is, let's take
Yeah.
him with us to our beer establishment and get him drunk and become friends with him, and then he will divulge important
Forget him.
secrets.
I know where the box went.
You do.
Yeah,
Forget
and
this
I'm
guy.
already like moving towards it,
Okay, great.
like adjusting my cloak. Just-
I throw him down with no little disgust. Forget this guy, and I go after him. I could follow you up.
Yep, and I'm pointing towards, and I say like that building right there.
What became of Vina? Where is Vina?
Can I come
Vina!
out on the water?
Is Vina okay?
Can I
I'm rising out of the water like Aphrodite.
Cool. So I'm soaking wet. +1.
No, like Aphrodite, you were like unto the goddess of love.
Very funny. So wow, we did some good short shrift of those guys. The battle's raging on. We're moving forward. Should we keep going or end for the session, or
I think we can go. Maybe we'll get
Do
it to
Artha.
point where we're
Let's-
ready to start another combat, I have a feeling. But do you
Yeah.
guys want to run to where the creature went into the building?
I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're heading
Yeah.
over there. We're hoping to do it. I think we'd like to do it in a fairly stealthy way.
Yeah.
So that everyone else doesn't know the cool place we're going. Which you can just say yes to, or you can make us roll. But and then I think that's where we're
I
gonna
think
leave
I'm
off.
gonna say yes to it. I think the focus, the docks are starting to come alive with city guards and everybody running toward the boat. So nobody's paying attention to you guys.
Okay, great,
all right.
great.
You
All right,
get up to this building. Now, this house, it doesn't look sophisticated or anything, but the shutters are all closed and the door is closed.
And
You guys
locked.
want to go? Let's go in at least to see the next scene.
Yeah, can I try the door?
Yeah. And the
Is it
door
locked?
is unlocked.
Oh, it's unlocked.
It's unlocked.
Nice.
Okay, I remember that I've got people with me because I'm so used to working solo. So I turn around and just put my finger to my mouth, and I lower my stance and I open the door slowly, see if there's a squeak.
No,
Okay. Take a few steps in. Is it dark inside?
it is dark inside, but you have that ability. So I'm gonna say what you see is you see a woman sleeping on a bed, and there are 3 tabby cats in the room, and they've all got bloody paws on them. And you see a box, that special box on the mantle of the fireplace.
What?
Wow.
I'm going to aura read for magic. Okay, see if there's any emanations of anything magical going on in here. Skills.
Do the cats notice us?
Reading a school of magic, ob 1. Reading a school of magic, ob. Reading an object to see if it is magical or mundane, ob 1. Reading a school of magic, ob 2. So reading an object to see if it is magical or mundane. Okay, scan the room for that. That's cool, eh, guys?
Well, you
Yeah.
can only do one object though, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I think it's one at a
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
So
So
is there a
I'll-
thing in the room you're gonna focus on?
the box?
And also,
Okay.
guys, how does it look? Like, do we open the door fully? And you guys are, we're all standing in this open door, or like,
That would be good to know.
because
Well, yeah, you're right. Like I kind of jumped the gun there.
Are you
we
guys gonna
s-
go into the room or not?
Okay,
Yes.
so quickly, is the woman awake or is she asleep and unaware of us?
Asleep, appears to be asleep.
And
Okay,
the cats are awake or
They're
also
definitely
cuddled up with
awake.
her and asleep? Okay,
all right.
got it.
So I'll relay that to these two people, to my friends here, and
Mhm.
kind of get in for just carefully, like further enough that I can see if there are any connecting rooms or anything else to the room that's
There
could
is
be-
a door in the back of the room.
okay. And is it like an open door, or it's
No, closed.
it's a closed door? Okay. Yeah. And the cats do the cats see me? I'm sure.
Oh, they
They
see
look
you.
Okay.
They're
I
just
tell
laying there. Like cats do.
I tell and even house cats make me edgy. So I'm just going to
These
be
are large cats too. They're not small cats.
right. So I'm going to be. I'm
Maine
going to.
Coons.
Yeah, they're
Well,
like Maine Coon cats.
I don't think we didn't corroborate that like the prince is in the box. I don't know that. I just think that it's the
treasure.
gift, whatever.
Oh, I say, I'll whisper it to you guys. The
Princess
princeling's
box.
nursemaid told me by magics the prince is in that box.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know what, but that's the box.
Yeah, that's gonna freak me out.
So
Um,
so two questions. The bloody paw prints. Is there can we tell where the cats have been walking around from the bloody paw prints that they've left? Or
No way. The room's so dark. The only one
Got
who
it.
can see the bloody paws
I
is
agree.
the rat.
I got it. Okay.
yeah, and
Should we-
I'll say blood. There's blood all over
Blood
the place.
everywhere. Okay. Should we leave it here as a point of suspense where we're going to start up next time? Where do we want to go in now?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Perfect. Let's do
Perfect.
Martha then.
Yeah.
What'd you guys
Very
think?
fun.
You enjoy this session?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really threw us for some difficult, weird shit, which
Yeah,
I really
very
appreciate because
inventive.
it that is stuff that happens in the books a lot, like just weird magic stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
That
like
was
the idea
really
that
good.
like I like the idea like when we were in the middle of that fight, and like when the creature jumped off and stuff, I was thinking completely okay with us failing the mission.
Right.
And you not being like, okay, like you get it, but with a bunch of difficulty, like if we totally fucked it up, that would be really cool,
Yeah.
So like for myself, I don't need to feel like I accomplished a mission to be
Successful.
happy about the game,
Yeah.
Oh,
Failing forward can be a lot of fun. Okay. So let's go through our bits again and see where everybody is. Who wants to start?
Driving the game forward with a belief. I think the gift of sight is, my nursemaid
Yep.
pushing that one. That's earning. That's definitely,
Oh yeah.
giving us a
Down
little
with
bit of
that.
information for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I must extract knowledge from her about my gifts. Is that a persona point or is that just a belief point? She's dead now.
That's
so
a
I think it's gotta
persona.
be
Yeah,
persona.
So I think I got a persona for that. And then anybody else? I think a lot of you. This other belief I have about bringing the Thieves Guild down a peg. I don't think I actively did anything against the Thieves Guild. They were there, but I didn't single them out and try and kill somebody specifically or anything like that. And Atessa wasn't there, so my third belief was not.
I don't know. You were interfering with their operations. I would say you at least get a fade.
Okay, cool. Thank you. How
You
about the
knew
other
they were
beliefs?
there. You knew what they wanted to do basically, and you interfered with it. So
Yeah, that's right. Cool.
All right. And the Atessa one obviously didn't come up because we had no Atessa. Did you have a chance to make a noticeable tick? Nope. Did you stand and drool the President's Magic? Yes, you did. I think you get a fate for that, right?
Nice. Thank you. Yeah. I was kind of hoping to get and this is for you, Peter, like the failure consequence of having that instinct is like in that situation to actually take a hit with just like, when I said I come to, it would have been great if you get tackled, like.
well,
Right.
I think that you didn't get the chance to help in the chase, so I think it was enough failure.
Yeah, that's true.
Opting
Yeah,
out of
that's a
it,
good
you
point.
didn't get a chance to do a thing once we were on the boat until later, so that was fine.
Yeah.
So and none of your traits came up. Drop Dead Gorgeous, Off Kilter, Paranoid, Numb, Second Sight, Brown Skin, Sinuous, Green Eyed. Okay, good.
I'm really trying to figure out how to play Off Kilter properly,
You know,
Yeah, that's a good one.
we might vote you stay sane and stable at the next rate vote. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Nico, what do you got?
Okay, good things come from bad deeds. I didn't quite do anything bad.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just, just kind of getting into this mission here. Then the rich and powerful believe they can take what they want from whoever they want. They think they're safe, blah, blah, blah.
You got that one.
I went,
Well-
I mean, I definitely went aggressively into the mission, like not really waiting for you guys, not really like
True.
stuff like that. I did try to chase after the creature because not because I thought they had the princeling, but like because we needed the box. But I don't know. I mean, do you think the rest of it is enough? Just me being so aggressive in the mission is enough to get something?
Certainly good. I would think of fate. I don't know. What do
Yeah.
you think, Peter?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Okay.
Hey guys, I have a question on the beliefs. Where you mark on the belief section, the character sheet, where you mark is it the award of a fate or persona in those beliefs, or is it the use of those?
No, you're marking the earning of them on this, and then you
Okay.
mark their use under the skill or stat that you actually spend them on.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but
great.
most people just put their at the top their fave persona, just total
Yeah.
everything there. But I've heard someone say that I want to track how many beliefs, how many fate and persona and deeds I've earned for a specific belief, just to track how much I'm actively pursuing them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
At least it gives you a measure of like, is this belief actionable and am I enjoying it? So,
Right.
All right. Your second one.
Yep. And then my third belief, man's greatest weakness is his belief in his strength. I wait patiently studying and watching for the thread I can pull to bring him down. I did lunge for that guy's legs sneakily to try to like weaken him, to topple him, so you can take him down.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you a persona, but the problem I have with some of your beliefs is they're so vague, it's hard to make sure if they're actionable.
I don't think I should get a persona for. I don't think
No,
I
that's
should
a
get a
fate.
persona
That's
for
a
that.
fate. It's a fate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peter.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's. I
don't think that's persona.
Yeah, he was acting on the basis of the belief, but not accomplishing anything.
That's
Right.
why
He
I
did
want
not
to
accomplish.
see
He
you
didn't.
have many goals in your belief that are accomplishable, because you need to get personas. They're important.
I agree.
Yeah,
you need.
I'll
you
work
need
on it.
ones
I'll
that
work
you
on
can- Okay. Never get cornered. Was your first of your instincts. You got cornered.
Yeah, and
I'm
you
not
got
sure
in
if it-
trouble. So that's definitely a fate.
Okay. Always. Oh, you should be reading these. I don't know why I'm reading for you. You go.
So that's another fate. Some of the 4 fate. I always watch my back. The only tail I should have is my own.
That sounds so much like those first two are identical to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think situationally they kind of happen in different situations though.
Okay.
I didn't use the always watch my back thing. That happens when
I see. So one of them is about being tailed by people, being followed. The second one is about being followed. The first one is about being surrounded.
Yeah, being surrounded, being stuck, like being stuck in a spot, because I'm usually
ready to go. You might, during that battle, early on in the battle, when Peter said, you've gotten surrounded by this group, you might have at that point pulled out that instinct and say, hey, I never get cornered. And maybe he would let you off easy and say, oh, okay, that's the way those instincts work in your favor rather than working as a way of earning.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you earned fate on the first one.
Yep.
The
second one,
your last one.
Yeah. Well, I always defend a rat in trouble. I mean, it just didn't come up.
Yeah.
I might not even keep this one. So
your traits, any of these come up? Claude came up.
The incisors, my
it
teeth.
came up story wise. Yeah, exactly.
But
Clawed
it,
and
it
teeth
doesn't
came up.
really cause trouble though.
No, didn't cause
Right.
trouble. It might. I wonder whether you're going to get a reputation having fought in the way you
Right.
did.
If somebody like
These people are going to be.
remembers.
They're going to remember how you fought.
Yeah.
If Peter likes that, I like the idea that these guys are, and you're at some point going to have a reputation as a dirty fighter, the one that bites, something like that. And I kind of love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right.
So that's about it for me.
Great.
How about embodiment? Who
Oh wait, I
embodies
should
their
go.
character?
Peter, I need to go through
let's
mine
do-
real quick. I'm sorry to go slow there. So I'm the match of any man, and I'll prove it to the Thieves Guild just as I did while serving in the militia of the Lord Mayor of Clegnar. I don't know if this is persona. I didn't actually. Oh, I often know one of the damn Thieves Guild guys. So maybe I do that. I don't know.
I would say you get a persona for sure.
Okay, so I'm continuing to prove myself to the Thieves Guild. I carry the blood of Stormworthkin in my veins by toppling the towers of the mighty. I will earn the appellation Stormbringer. That did not really happen.
No.
And though I'm far from the prettiest woman in our group, I will turn the head of the princeling when we rob or kidnap him. Failed to do that.
Not yet.
And in fact, actually, the one thing is I might ask if I got a fate, because rather than chasing after the box that I thought had the treasure, I tried to get downstairs.
Yeah,
and get to
no,
the boy,
I totally agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing you guys might have noticed too is that one of the thieves and one of the soldiers were fighting each other.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I figured they must be. The main fight was between those two groups. We just got in on the end.
Yeah. Oh, we totally noticed
You
that.
just got stuck in it.
That's why we survived.
Yeah, we could not have survived against 20 guys otherwise. So my traits, my instincts didn't come up. Never trust the grinning men. None of these guys were grinning. And draw my sword at the first sign of danger did not come up. I'm boasting. I'm a redheaded of the cold wastes. I laugh at bad fortune, which I did. Iron stomach, mark of privilege, affinity for rope, and cold blood. None of those things were crucial to the story. So I'm taking.
You know, I would say the fact that you're a northerner and this group from you could probably tell hate northerners.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, he definitely put more. He was interested.
Oh,
in not
he stuck
letting it
around
go.
for that fight because I'm a northerner.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So does that mean I get a fate for that,
Yep.
or just something I noticed?
You get a fate.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
All right,
That's
great.
good. One
All right,
persona and 2 fate for me. That's a happy day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I used all my persona point in the thing, like in that's partly the reason why I ran away from the fight too, because I had no persona left. So I used 1 persona point for my persuasion against the lady, against the wise woman, to try and convince her, which I really like because it was in service of a belief. And I used the other persona point to try and find her in the circles, which is another, in service of that belief, which is really good.
Yeah, so those are whenever you pursue a belief, you get a fate for that. But you don't get multiple fates if you pursue the belief multiple times.
No. That's fair. Yeah, of course.
right.
So let's go to embodiment. Who embodied their character the most?
I don't know.
I think
It's
you'd
not
be
like
good at
something we
pretty
should
good.
do every session, but I do think
This was a major session, though. I think we should go all out. You guys did
okay.
great.
Cool. Yeah, that's fair.
So I liked the moment when the old woman was dying,
Mhm.
and Vina was like, I'm going to try to nurse her back to health, and then realizes, no, she's dying. I need to get what I need from her now. And that felt like an embodiment of her. I mean, she's actually eager to help people who are in need. I think she is, despite her tough exterior, actually survived in that terrible place where she grew up because she found allies. But she also learned that you need to make sure you're looking after yourself. And that felt like a moment where she was making sure she got what she needed.
Yeah, her pursuit of this magical thing that she's after, that she's trying to like become, that was clearly the direction that she chose to go in,
Yeah.
which was cool.
Um,
And your role playing was great too.
oh wow, thanks. Peter, you cool with that? A persona for that one?
I am. Everybody's role playing so well their characters.
Yeah.
I feel you all embody your characters. In fact, you know what, guys, I'm gonna give you all a persona for embodiment. You definitely
Yeah.
all embodied your characters.
Thank you. I see that so much in everybody, like Nico and Frida. Frida, you're always acting like you were totally frustrating Vina. At the beginning, you were just like, you fucking loudmouth, you know.
She was a
And
kick-ass
and Nico,
barbarian in this session.
you're kind of aggressive and like
Sharp.
rebellious nature was really coming out. You do seem like the lone wolf, dark stalker.
Yeah. I'm not
Also,
used to
I
being
think
with people.
both of
Yeah.
your characters would have, in reality, died if it wasn't for Frida, man. She
Right.
Oh my
saved the
God,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
like it seems like just
workhorse.
Frida is always like, Frida's just chasing me around, making sure I don't die,
Yeah,
trying to hold me
yeah.
back, you know.
Well, that's the
Don't do that
that's
stupid thing.
yeah.
Is that a workhorse award, maybe?
I would
For
say
Frida?
let's give
Yeah.
the
Oh, that's kind of
workhorse
you.
as well to Frida.
Yeah.
Save the
Amazing.
party
kind of you.
for sure.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely protected us for sure. So that was a fruitful day. I'm so sad that Tim is not getting in on these games. So yeah,
I
I don't
know.
know.
I'm sad for him because wow, what a session he missed. I thought this session was amazing.
It was
Yeah.
amazing.
That was great.
Great
Yeah.
DMing. I'm so. What the fuck is that fairy?
Yeah, Peter, this
There's
is really
more to
cool.
the story,
Salamander.
guys. There's
Yeah,
a lot more to the story.
I will say the surprises have been lovely. And you know, and one thing you're doing is there are these moments of reveal of and I just think, since as long as we're putting these things on YouTube, it's worth taking note. Like, one thing you're doing that I think sometimes too often GMs have this tendency to come up with a really clever story, and then they think, okay, now the cool thing is the characters have to work hard to find out and reveal the key beats of the thing, and then you make the characters work too hard, and just like these key moments where we've bumbled around and haven't made particularly good rolls, but we see something important. We open the door and there's this woman and these mysterious cats. We didn't have to work hard to get in that information, because it's important that we have that information so that we can act on it. And that's really lovely. Good jamming.
Nice.
Yeah, that's something that I try to do in everything, like whether it's game design or GMing, is like the game itself is hard. The game itself is challenging.
Yeah.
Like we don't have, you know, as a GM, you don't have to make it harder. Like the story doesn't have to be hard, you know, just make it interesting. And the game is the challenge. So yeah, I think you're doing that really great, Peter.
Awesome. Well, I had a blast. You guys are really great role players. It was just amazing. And there's a lot more to the story. So I can do next week. I'll still be in Argentina. Can you guys do Sunday again, same time?
I think Eric and I are both going to be at PAX Unplugged on Sunday, unfortunately.
Let's try and let's check with Tim and see what works for him.
Okay, that sounds like
also a good one. and find a good like a slot where we could play. Like, if you're busy on Sunday.
But I thought I thought Tim was leaving the group permanently.
Yeah,
I think he is trying to leave the group permanently. He has uninvited himself from the text conversation. So if you want to reach out to him and say, we really miss you, we'd love to have you back, I'm totally happy for you to reach out to him. I also don't want to make him feel guilty, because I think he's feeling guilty.
I don't want him to feel pressured though, because he definitely bowed out completely. And I think if we jump on him, you know, I don't think it's going to be appreciated.
You're just gonna have a lot of he's definitely said, like, make my character an NPC, and I better change my third belief.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think you need a new belief, sir.
Who else am I going to in the party? It's cool. A trio is
I think
pretty
you.
apt.
I actually think. I think we have good basis given today's adventure for your wanting to change Frida's behavior, because Frida is way too loud, and
Yeah.
want her to stop being such a boaster. And braggart is in her character, so that really gives us some interesting texture there.
I have one more player, Peter. His name is Pete. He's an amazing Burning Wheel player. But he doesn't play Burning Wheel. Like, he's played a couple of games with me, and he's kind of new to role playing. But he is so fucking creative, and he also is a sketcher. So when we're playing, he's drawing characters, he's drawing symbols. He's really good. I'm gonna ask him. The one thing is that he's not tech savvy, so he might not be able to, like, I don't know if he has a laptop, but I'll ask him, because I was thinking to ask you guys if you wanted another player, but 5 is too much.
5
but,
is too much.
But Pete
4
is
okay.
Pete is
4's
really
okay.
good, and he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have kids. He's got so much time. So he's an artist. He's an artist, so he makes his own schedule.
I like 3. I like the dynamic of 3, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
So, like, because it's very easy to bounce between us and get good screen time. Not, one more is not super too much, but yeah, like I do like 3 so
too.
So I'm not saying no, but I'm just saying, like, 3, I think 3 is nice, because Burning Wheel is very lush. Like, each character, there's so much to each character. So I like 3, but I'm not, but that's just my piece.
And I will honor that. So I won't reach out to him. I will play something else with him.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let you go. I will stop.
Okay. Have a great time in Argentina. We'll be in touch and try to find a time, either maybe early the week after PAX Unplugged. We can do it on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, but we'll talk over texts and see if we can find a time. And if not, we'll miss a weekend.
Yeah, I'm super available because I'm on vacation, so my schedule's open.
All right,
Peter, I've got a new challenge. I got a challenge for you, Peter. You have to, every time you spend money, you have to spend it in $8 increments. It seems like you've been doing that so far.
Like it's pretty easy to do in Argentina.
Well, have a great time.
You can't even get lunch in Canada for $8.
I know,
Canadian
it's nuts. Everything's ending up to be $8.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right,
take it easy.
Take care, guys.